that's how I do it now. Like, it is so simple and easy to set up.
Right?
Then later on,
It's so nipple proof.
Then later on, when I re-edit them, because I'm going to be working with Stella on creating a theme song for this podcast, just like the other podcast that I work on with Paul.
Well, I was well, we were supposed to do that a couple months back, but we never did it.
Yeah, it's
like pull up a soundbite program and like me sing or you sing us figure out like lyrics.
Yeah.
For an intro, or figure out a way to like record like a little like 2-3 minute fucking quick song.
Yeah.
We'll put it up on Spotify, on Mine or Yours or whatever. Like we're fucking musicians or whatnot, and there's up when we make a few bucks off of it, but that's not the end all goal.
Yeah. That's something that me and Gustav are been working on here soon, because we've just been busy the last couple months. Like, it's been crazy. This whole year has just been one big giant clusterfuck. But anyway, I think we're live.
Keep that with that. Oh no, we are.
Hey! Ho. I am TPAW.
The Karnage.
And we are Crazy Pigs.
How do you say her name?
Cornelia. Yeah?
She wasn't married. I'd be in some big shit, but it's also... I would throw the, how you doing?
Yeah, no.
She probably knows that too, because I'm Slick Rick like that. I mean, because I did it to Crazy Bitch. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, she
not
knows.
like it would be ahead of character.
No, she knows. She's also been in quite a few magazines now. And there was one magazine she was in where she was just utterly nude. And
yeah, I remember her talking about that on her Twitter.
Yeah, she would be considered a model, so like an official model. So that's not surprising.
But I mean, no offense to Cornelia, the only complaint I have towards her,
okay,
is the same complaint I have towards most women. It's, I know, but the photo was edited. I'm actually fat. Dude, you hot. Shut up.
Oh no, she knows that. That's not her attitude whatsoever.
Well, but I mean, that's what she's posted. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're a little big? I'm sorry. Some big women are just, and some big women are, you need to lose some weight because, God, you got like rolls over rolls, lady. Like, that's too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, you know, Cornelia has become a lot more secure in her body lately, and like has been posting nonstop about her, you know, Reiki training and like her spirituality, the Reiki, or whatever, however you pronounce it.
It's Reiki.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's Reiki.
Yeah, she's been going on and on about that type of stuff, and like now she's going to be
I
starting
like that
classes.
she talks about that though, because that's the way she talks about it.
Yeah.
Or some of the stuff she's put out there, and you're like, oh yeah, Karnage just said the same thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, clearly, obviously.
Yeah.
Because me and her, when we first started talking, and she invited me into her little, like, the Twitter group. I mean, she really doesn't post on it. I don't post on anything anywhere, honestly. Yeah. But I like her energy because we're very similar on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And some of the stuff she puts up, I get the joke instantly. Yeah. Or I get where she's coming from, but I also see it from, you could use it as a ha-ha.
Yep.
It's this weird dynamic with her that it's like we're best friends, and I would love to meet her in real life and give her a hug and tell her, I love you, sis.
Yeah. And
just leave it at that.
Yeah. No, she knows, like, her and I know that as soon as, like, if we ended up meeting each other in real life, like, the time would just bleed away because we would just be hanging out like we do on the internet. Just going back and forth,
like me and
joking,
you do too.
everything.
Yeah, it's that thing when you're just, like, what was it, last Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it was.
No, it was Friday.
Yeah.
Because we went for a workout and then we came. I mean, you just sat because Mom and Dad were gone because Russell got them something and they ran off for the weekend.
Yeah, because they went.
And we just sat out front and shot the shit about existence.
Yeah.
Until 2 a.m.
Yep.
From like 11 to 2 a.m.
Yep.
Like we do on this. And I love that. I love being able to do that.
Yeah. We didn't even need to record it or anything. It was just us talking.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to, it'd be recorded on my phone, then throw it on to...
Bonus episode of Crazy Peas, not on a Thursday.
I just throw it up as just random sound. I'd throw it up on Spotify podcast or something.
Yeah.
I'd throw it up somewhere. I'd find a way to put it on one of the websites.
Yeah.
I mean, because even if it's on Rumble, on our Rumble channel, which I don't think you've uploaded, so...
No, not yet.
I mean, my laptop with the shit, so I couldn't upload, so I'm like, no, now you have to do it. And you're like,
yeah, I'm probably gonna actually upload at least one or two of them tonight. I'm gonna be working on it.
Well, if you upload it, you can set it to come out, like, Thursday.
Yeah.
Or set it to come out Friday, and then you can literally time out the next one to come out the next week. Because that's what I did with the first 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I did the next one the next week after I got the files from you, but because we'd missed a couple weeks, you threw a couple on there.
Yep.
So I literally threw it up and then next one. They came out a week after each other. Like
Yeah.
you do with YouTube.
Yeah, because that's what I was doing with YouTube before I started just going live and just pre-recording it. I would
remember that.
I would literally like schedule it to where it was dropping like Friday or Monday or something like that, and that way people were given a notice ahead of time. Hey, it's going to be uploaded, and I would just because we would do the live, but then I'd pre-record it and then re-upload it after I edited it and everything. But that just became so time-consuming.
You got so into the editing, I'm like, dude, you're over-editing it.
Yeah, no,
Just
it was.
Leave it be and just cut off the hiccups or the fuck-up parts.
Because, like, literally, like, you guys probably don't remember this because it's been a couple years
Forever.
now. Yeah, we were at an apartment before when we were doing it. We were in the loft. But, like, basically, we would record the podcast on a Sunday or Saturday because that was my schedule was different. And then after the Saturday night, we would record the podcast, and he would leave, and then not even like minutes after he left, I would be on the computer still, and I'd be literally cutting the episode together and then setting it up to be uploaded after it was extracted. And Sunday was literally me posting the video up on the internet, on YouTube. And it became so time consuming with everything else going on around me that I just had to stop doing that. And so I just changed the way I was doing it, and now we've just had a more simple setup.
I see nothing wrong with you liking that, because that's one of your talents. It's something you enjoy.
Yeah, it is.
That's like me. I always enjoyed drawing.
Yeah.
If I actually sit down and spend time to draw, and actually like took time to like get really, really into drawing again, I wouldn't have as many issues as I have with my hands, because my hands would get so used to it. I wouldn't have the CMT issues with the arthritis, because and this is where my brain goes with like the whole arthritis thing. Well, what do you do with your hands? I don't do anything because of the arthritis. Yeah, well, if you work it out like you would work out a regular muscle, you'll no longer be hurting because you've worked out the muscle so much doing the little things you do that cause your arthritis to go super nuclear now would be like, whatever.
Yeah.
And people are like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm serious. 100%.
Yep. And there's authors out there, like people that are best-selling authors, where they have massive arthritis. One of the guys,
well, I mean, it's like any muscle. You gotta work it out. That's like one of the funniest jokes or little sayings from, like, Dragon Ball Z. Or one of the little sound bites from it. Or somebody edited it together. I don't remember. But it's like, yeah, Kakarot. Well, because Vegeta's making fun of Kakarot. It's in the saying saga. Yeah, what's your brain? Just another underused muscle? Basically, you don't even work out your brain, do you? You fucking big lump of muscle.
Yeah. Because
the issue that most people have with Super, I mean, I understand why they did it, or why it was done the way it was done. It's because he fell on his head and busted his head. He has this bad habit of every so often he forgets shit or doesn't remember saying something or, certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, well, it's when he was being trained in Dragon Ball by Master Roshi, which is funny because Roshi is Japanese for master, so he's master. Fucking English bullshit. But it's the thing that part of the training was spending an hour or two learning science, learning math, actually learning.
Yeah.
Sitting down, reading, learning science and math, and stuff that you actually could use. So that way you're not just a big dumb I'm the gym bro, or
Yeah.
the gym bro that everybody's like, yeah, just gym bro. My muscles.
Gym bros that we see at the gym all the time.
Well, no, and I
it's
know
like-
if I've actually listened to, because I listen to every conversation around me, even the one I'm having,
Yep.
which is really fucking weird with the way the ADHD processes it.
Mhm.
Because I'm hearing everything all at once.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Oh yeah, and then I have to stop, zone in, pay attention, block out everything else. And as soon as I think it, except for what I'm on,
Yeah.
everything else goes. Hey, I hit the mute button on the rope. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a weird skill. Like I had to use it tonight with the missionary meeting because it was like get to know the people that are sitting next to you.
Mhm.
And most of us, it was somebody sitting there, and there were two people on the outside, so we stayed in like 3 or 4 person groups when we were doing it. And the guy that was between me and an elderly lady, she said something about she used to be the secretary at Doxy. I'm like, oh, you probably know my siblings.
Hmm.
And then I gave her the names, and she didn't say either way. I accidentally interrupted her.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if I don't say it now, I'll forget to say it, and then it, conversation will be gone.
Yep.
But I mean, I was hearing everybody else's conversation, every fucking word of everybody. But while the Hispanic guy from the actual Hispanic Spanish ward
Yep.
was talking, I literally had to turn the zone in on, and I did, and then I don't even know what the hell they were saying after I turned it off.
Hmm.
It was like 30 seconds of everybody's voices rambled together, even though I was hearing everything they were saying.
Yep.
Until I turned it off, and it was zone.
Yeah.
It's a weird skill.
Okay, now I know about that.
Some people don't have it. I'm like, hello? Shut up, leave me alone. No. It's like, dude, listen to what I'm saying. Zone into me, not the lunacy going on in your brain or the crazy voices you hear in your head, which aren't actually in your head.
Yeah.
They're the little demons or entities floating around, or they're your family spirits that are going around going da 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 da. Yeah, you know who just told you that, right? Nobody told me that. What are you talking about? Okay, you didn't see it. Never mind. Not gonna tell you who it is.
Yeah.
Because I see it with Amber. I see it with Mom.
Mhm.
I especially see it with Russell.
Yeah.
Because the reason he, whether he realizes it or not, the little demon's making him rage.
Mhm.
But what he doesn't realize, and I don't think he'll ever be able to be spiritually or third eye open enough to be aware of it, because he fell and, like I said, busted his head.
Mhm.
The thing is because he can't, he doesn't hear that that's his mom, or his dad, Nanny and Peepaw, or even his grandma, Nanny Clopton,
Yeah.
basically saying, "Can you just stop?"
Mhm.
All he knows is it's a button, and he's getting more rage because he's getting more
I've
energy.
literally heard those
What the
voices.
thing is,
Yeah.
he doesn't realize is they're going, "Stop it! Stop it! God damn it, child!"
Yeah.
Like he's a baby and they're having to cock him, but they're cocking him because he's a full grown.
Yeah. The night that he was starting his stuff over
You
the
said you saw the black.
over the doorknob and stuff. No, that was
Oh.
today. That's the
yeah,
doorknob.
you
the
told me about
doorknob
that
episode.
situation, yeah.
I literally thought you were there. Like.
That was either Peepaw, who's slightly shorter than Russell, or if it was taller than Russell, that was his Uncle Buddy.
Yeah, no, it was somebody that was about your height or shorter that was
That
behind
was probably
him.
Peepaw. If you go look in the front room,
Yeah.
when the sun's out tomorrow.
Yeah, I was sitting on the staircase and he's being really passive aggressive and he's grabbing for the keys and I just kind of was like, whatever. And then I heard like a very audible like stop it, Russell, and I'm like going, Tim? And then Russell's like, what are you, stupid? He's not here. And I'm like, that's not okay. Well, somebody said that sounded like Tim. And like and he's just
Probably
like,
Peepaw or
yeah.
Uncle Buddy.
yeah, they were in
Because I mean, especially if Uncle Buddy's leaning over, because he was 6'2".
yeah.
He's between 6'2", 6'2". Lean over. Stop, Russell.
Yeah, no, I heard
It's
that.
the uncle voice.
It was like
or
a
it's the dad voice. Stop it, goddamn you.
And then after like that voice happened and he still didn't stop, I then heard a more angry female voice.
Nanny.
And it wasn't Mare that was talking.
Oh no, it was Nanny.
Like, I heard
if it was angry and feminine, because
yeah, it was
like
that.
I told you, if me or the wife ever called Nanny or I just called Nanny, can you call Russell, tell him to get off his fucking goddamn bullshit, his PTSD or whatever the hell, and tell him to go fucking get the hell out of the house and take care of his own bullshit? Quit throwing it at me, my wife, and or the kids, or his own fucking kids.
Yeah, like I was hearing that voice while at the same time hearing Mare talk to him and trying to get him to stop, and then hearing Amber do it too, like the combination. And at that one point, I was
they're
sitting
all
there,
saying the same thing.
Yeah,
Russell, stop, slow down, quit.
And I was literally sitting there, and I'm like, sensory overload from hell. I'm going holy shit right now. And like I'm hearing dead and alive people at the same time, and then I'm seeing like a bunch of auras spinning, and I'm like going, damn it, Karnage, it's your third eye shit. And I like went upstairs, and then he's like, are you gonna go run away? And I'm like going, I'm a little overloaded right now. And then I had no way I heard because he's a friggin' idiot. And I'm like going, Loki? And I'm like, wait, no, that wasn't him. That was somebody else. And I'm like hearing like a combination of voices and everything. And I'm just like,
or one of the other ancestors that flows around. It's, Russell, stop.
Yeah,
You stupid fucking. Because he doesn't realize it, but I mean, you've heard him. If you're driving or something, he's not actually talking to you. He's just bitching and cussing and rambling on about everybody and everything and da 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 da. What he doesn't realize is he's doing that because everybody's.
Yeah.
But it's he can't hear because he can't open the third eye or get into the extra sensory.
It's like a
the
muffled
ESP thing. Because all he knows is he's getting poked. But what he doesn't realize is he's getting poked to stop. Let it go. Quit living in the past. Come on, my son. Or fucking Russell, quit it, you asshole. Quit being a douchebag. Quit being the asshole you bitch that everybody calls you. And be the guy you want everybody to... That you want respect. Well, then quit being the raging ass.
Yeah.
From Nanny, from... Actually, a lot of the ancestors I've been fulfilling my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
Because it's funny when you see it, like you're saying you can.
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah.
I've had the skill maybe for like a second,
Mm-hmm.
but instantly because I saw it and I was so self-aware. Okay, I don't need to see it because I have such an extensive ESP. I always feel it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while I'll see it, but I'm always feeling it everywhere I go. It's weird. But at the same time, it can be so beneficial.
It could also be sensory overloading from hell.
You see, I don't have the entry of sensory overload.
Yeah.
Because the way my brain and the chemicals or whatever synapses in your brain shoot off with the ADHD, I'm literally processing every fucking millisecond of a millisecond.
Yeah.
Like a millionth of a millisecond every second. I'm processing it all so much that it just goes in. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm doing, and I know I'm hearing them because I'll say something, or I'll hear them say my name. I'm like, I know, but I'm in the middle of something. Talk to me in like half an hour when I stop, or wait until I'm done doing what I'm doing. Then you can talk to me while I'm driving and zoned out.
Yeah.
I won't hear it, but I know you're there, so just talk to me when I'm in this mode. And then when I'm driving, I get all these ideals and things, and I'm like, oh, okay. That's what the next step is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that. And
You get sensory overload because, like we've talked, you shut it off when you were younger because you were like, what the fuck?
well, it was closer to when...
Hand me one of the energy drinks.
It was
while you're
closer
talking.
to when... So Ares passed away in 2018. And that's around the time that I started feeling like a complete and total Force... Like, Jedi disconnect from the Force type motion. And
Like
before then...
Like Luke did in The Force Awakens and explained...
Yeah.
Well, he'd done before that, but he explains to her in movie
why he...
8?
Yeah, why he dampened his connection so much.
Well, he just turned it off.
Yeah, and so like I had that motion happen because Nico was trying to tell me that they could see Ares sitting right next to me, even though his body was clearly on the metal gurney thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, you know, devastated and just in complete shock and everything. And, like, even though I knew it was gonna happen, I'm still in shock. And like all of a sudden out of
Because
nowhere,
you didn't pre-process the emotions before the event happened.
I was in denial the whole time. And then after it happened, like it was like I knew that there was a room. We were in it. I knew that there were walls. I knew the walls looked very yellow because of the lighting. But everything else I could see before was dampened. It was like someone turned off a light. And that's kind of how it's been for me for this entire time.
You'd become... Because the dog happened, and what was it, like a year later, your mom?
Yep. A year later, my mom passed away.
And literally, because of the emotional trauma, which manifested itself in you physically, it also manifested in you in a spiritual way, which kind of closed your third eye, because I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to know because it hurts too much to see it and know everybody's fine, while at the same time I'm living through the horror of their death.
Yeah, it's like 2017, 2018, and then 2019 my mom passed away. So he actually passed away 2017. That whole year of dealing with his death, 2018, and then she passed away the following year in 2019. And then for like the last 4 or 5 years, I've been just operating in this dark cloud of existence and trying to get through it and trying to just
I've pulled you out of a lot of it.
and live. And like
that was like my whole goal
dealing
from the beginning is because you
grief.
always went over your mom and Ares being dead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, alright, I gotta pull you out of it. Whether you want to or not, I was gonna drag you out one way or another. Kicking and screaming or just poke.
Yeah.
Poke. I finally got you there, which for me, because you know you've been talking about it a lot the last couple weeks, especially the last 3 weeks, month.
Yeah.
I've been like, okay, you're there. You finally gotten to the point where you can still care for them, but they've passed, and you're not okay with it, but you can not have it completely destroy you.
Right. The black cloud is not utterly suffocating me.
Yeah. And that's why also, like you said, now you can hear Loki. Now you can hear other things around you all the time.
Yep.
It's because you finally gotten to the realization that the stoicism that you see me do and always be happy, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you happy? The world's a complete piece of shit. You know what, it is what it is.
Yep. While everyone else is freaking out, you're just all like,
Okay.
alright.
And because you've absorbed and taken some of that in and used it yourself, you've gotten yourself to a point of enlightenment where you can actually relax while also running 1,000,000 miles an hour stressed out of your fucking mind without letting it completely wreck you.
Yeah, I have gotten to that point, and especially since, like, over half the time that Russell ever throws his giant bitch fits,
2-year-old
and
tantrum?
gets angry and stuff and rage-filled and, the tantrums.
It's a 2-year-old
he
tantrum.
literally
That's the way to
sees-
explain it.
He literally sees me just being,
Stoic as shit.
stoic and being very much like yourself, and he's just like, you don't care, blah, 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 blah. You don't care about it. Your daddy doesn't care about any of this. And I'm just like going, that's not true. I do care. I'm just stoic as fuck. I'm zen. It's needing to be
a
zen.
weird zen. Like I was talking with her about it's and like me and her were talking, and she was like, yeah, I do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I work my ass off because I've, she says she's 60.
Yeah.
I'm 40. So that's literally her age is literally Russell compared to me. She said 61, but Russell's 60 to my 40.
Yeah.
He's literally got mom knocked up, and I was born when he was 20. So his mentality towards me, I don't know if it was before he hit his head, he was working his way through it, letting go of the I hate you because you ruined my life while I was in my prime.
Yeah.
But once he hit his head, I was the target for everything.
Oh, so that's where I'm at.
That's no. Let me explain it to you why.
Yeah.
I am the demon, but I have control. I was always rageful. I was always the little poke, motherfucker, towards him in every way humanly possible as a child could do. You're not supposed to let your kids piss you off. Or no, not piss you off. Wrong word. You should never let your kids make you hate them.
Yeah.
He has always hated me and felt it was my fucking fault for everything that's ever happened in his life. So, literally, me leaving, like you told me, go see Eltonia, that's when he went, because he didn't have a target. He literally shipped me off so he didn't have a target.
Yeah.
So he literally had a shooting range to just throw bombs and fire at in any goddamn direction.
Yeah.
I was always the target. But because I grew up for 5 years when he was screwing his head back on an almost decent... Literally, he was on the edge of like pure decent, like I am.
Right.
And then he fell and busted his head. At like 25, because I was 5.
Right.
So, literally, before he could get himself back to true him, he broke his fucking program. So that's why he doesn't know how not to walk around like a Marine with a gun on him. Fuck with me, I'll show you what this gun can do.
Right.
Mentality. That's why he's always been the way he is. But because I remember some of my memories, I don't have them all, but I have a good chunk of from my birth to 5 years old. I have snits. Little like minute to fucking hour, like little snippets here and there.
Little normal snippets of being a child.
Oh, not even normal. I remember stuff that you shouldn't be able to remember.
Yeah.
And the only reason I remember it is because of the way my spirit and brain, the connection point, processes it. I remember being young, not having full sight yet, you know, like full depth perception.
Yeah.
Where everything was kind of a, like, what is it? Like the little, like, foggy things that they tell you to put on your license plate so that way the camera can't take pictures of you on the highway or at the lights.
Yeah, that.
That sort of thing. I have 2 memories like that. But my first memory is literally looking at the house we lived in when I was a tiny kid. But I was looking at the house like I was upside down. So it's literally how they tell us, I remember growing up in the 80s, they telling us this in school. The way you see everything, it goes in, and by the time it gets to the back to process it, the picture's upside down. But by the time it comes back to the process, so this is what you actually see between downloading the image and putting it back out, it flips it back around. I saw the house upside down. I didn't know if I was a baby being held upside down or if I saw it upside down because I was floating there as a spirit because I knew that's where I was going to live my first 5 years. Or, well, it wasn't even 5 years, but I knew that was going to be the house. And at 5 years old, that's the one house I remember because the kindergarten, preschool had a pool in it, and next to it was basically, it was like a construction site, but it was just all sand.
Yeah.
And that's where we always played. But I remember shit, and it's like, who he is, he needs a target. And because of, no offense to Nanny, her life thing that taught her to hate in-laws until she literally got old enough to grow out of it because it's pointless, this is stupid to think like that. She accidentally programmed him with that, and he was almost done reprogramming that when he fell and busted his head. So now, because you're the in-law that's here, just like when my wife was here, you're the fucking target because you're the outsider, who's no longer an outsider because you've had 4 kids with his
Yeah.
daughter.
Yep.
You were literally blood related now, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
But it's the you're an outsider, now you're an insider. Fuck you. Let's fight. It's like no,
Yeah,
stop.
there's been, like-
You're going to the extreme.
8 times already where he's tried to get me to do fisticuffs.
He always does that. He did that to me when you didn't see it, but I mean, a few other people saw it. Where he's like, all right, fine, let's go in the front yard. All right, yeah, you go ahead. No, you come out here. I'm like, no. Go, walk, clear your shit.
Yeah, a couple times where he's like, let's go to the backyard, let's go to the backyard. I'm like, no. You can go in the backyard all you want. I'm not going out there right now.
I got shit to do.
Yeah, I was like, you can go take a walk or something. And he's like, and then like he gets like, and then his like
he gets
speech
irritated
pattern.
because you're telling him to follow the steps that Kirk Duncan taught him,
Yep.
but because Kirk Duncan's no longer doing the 1,000 people seminars or 500 people seminars or whatever,
Yeah.
because there's not other people there and he has to contain it, because that's the only program he caught. There's other people around, church or people who could say shit about me behind my back. I have to be a proper human being. It's a program. It's literally, it's not he gets to flip the switch, it's the program's on, so he subconsciously fights the little demon that's whispering all the shit, the hate, the kill, fuck you parts always, because he's with people that could literally throw him under the fucking rug or get him thrown in jail
Yeah.
for his lunacy or get him thrown in the loony bin until he works his shit out, which he never will. Because he's literally a broken soul. We've discussed this 1,000 times. I discussed it with your mom.
Yeah.
When she first came out here, because me, her, and the wife and Jose we were buddy.
Yeah.
And then like the wife got caught up in her stuff, and then I kind of got pulled away, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I hated that.
My mom was like, literally like, asked you that one day. She's all like, what is up with him? Like, why is he always coming after my son? And why is he always... And then you're like, wait, how many times does he come after Thomas? She's like, every time he sees him, he's always being extremely aggressive, and he's always being over the top.
And I
he's
think I
done
told her
nothing to
something
do it.
about, because you're an in-law, and it's a shitty program he learned from
Yeah, and like...
one or two family members, one of them being his mom.
And she was just like going
Whether
on
she
about
realized she did that while she was alive or not, although once you're a spirit, I think you realize all the stupidity that you did,
Right.
you put on your kids and pre-programmed them with. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's why you heard a female voice screaming at him. This is not what the fuck I told you. I told you in-laws are only shitty if they do this sort of thing.
Right.
Or that was her thought, but that's not what got put to him.
Mhm.
And since his head got broke, the programming is in-laws. If they fuck up or they cross the line, they're assholes. You can fucking crucify them because it doesn't matter because they've literally proven they're worthless. In-laws, worthless. All the rest got wiped away. I don't think even Nanny realized that. I realized it forever and a day ago. Because Nanny did it to Mom for a while. And then
Yeah,
once
she was telling me about that.
Nanny got old enough or just knew she was coming close to the end, she clicked. No fucking point, it's worthless. Because it's not her fault. He's not doing anything. And the kids, they're kids fucking. Yeah, that's where she'd gotten. Because she's like, it's always dirty. I'm like, but it's not Mom's fault. Mom can't do everything. Nobody else is helping her. I do my best. And Dad still yells at me. I mean, but he doesn't do shit. And then he went, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, he'll bitch, he'll cuss, he'll scream, he'll act an ass, but he won't get up off his ass and do anything, or when he does, he tries to do it the exact opposite or reverse way that we're all doing it, or tries to reorganize what we're doing, even though we already have it planned out. We're like, no, you have to put this here, you have to do it this way.
Yeah, he tries to micromanage everything.
Well, it's not micromanaged. The way it's in his head, what he doesn't realize, is he's literally looking at a mirrored image. It's the exact reverse of what it should actually be. Yes, go see a lunatic as you caress your little brother or older brother.
Yeah, sure, you're totally my little brother. I'm totally older than you by like 10 years. Yeah, right.
No, you're just bigger than me.
I mean, I got bigger tits than you.
I'm working on it.
Surprise
And
appearance by
not
the
fat
Gustel.
man tits, muscle tits.
Surprise appearance by the Gustel.
Which completely threw me off what I was talking about. So,
Yeah, then we were talking about how he had a mirrored image and how he sees everything.
he
mirrored.
sees everything in reverse of what we see.
Yeah.
It's not the upside down.
Mhm.
It's literally. You could literally be Jesus Christ standing in front of him. Fucking Satan! Because he literally sees it in reverse.
Yeah.
He sees everything in reverse. Everybody else is being worthless, lazy, and shitty, while he's being the worthless, lazy, and shitty one. Literally, he can't look at himself in a mirror, in a proper image, because if you showed him what he actually looked like to everybody else, he'd say, yeah, that's me. Because he sees everything from the mirror image. So, if you use, like, the mirror thing
Yeah.
to show you what you actually look like on some of the, like, Snapchat and
Yeah, the
TikTok
apps.
and whatnot,
Yep.
that's what he sees. That's his whole fucking universe. It's literally
A mirrored image.
in reverse.
Yeah. Huh.
It's the brightest, most beautiful, nice day. Fucking motherfucking banana. Dude, why are you so pissed? It's a good day.
Yeah, I noticed
been
that.
nice
Like
weather.
every time, especially when he gets back from work, like something good will have absolutely happened. Like I was surprised because when they went to that Antelope Island thing, right? They were gone for
Yeah,
like
him
2
and
or 3
Mom
days.
went there because they do the
They did some raffle thing or
once a
won
week
something.
and blah blah blah. So their
Yeah.
name was in the raffle because they've been doing it for the last 2 years. Well, last 3 years, except for last summer because they didn't get to go as much last summer.
Yeah, so he went. They did that thing,
Excuse me.
right? He comes back and he's one of the grumpiest people, and I'm just like going, "Did you just go to the
See,
island and like enjoy
Here's the
yourself?"
funny part. I realized that happens to me too. It's a program either I learned from him or it's some wiring in here from him and Mom. Him or Mom. One of their genetics or the combination of, and because I can see everything front facing and in the mirror, I can see both sides of everything. I mean, we've
Yeah.
discussed it. Actually, I see like 360 degrees. I see it all. The weird part is, after I have sex, I'm usually grumpier and more bitchy like Russell.
Really?
It's an
After
odd...
sex?
No, not immediately. Like the next day,
Huh.
I get bitchier.
Interesting.
When I don't have sex, intercourse, I'm less gripey, less bitchy, let's fight. It's a weird
That is
dynamic.
definitely weird.
But I think it's also something I learned subconsciously from seeing the way he interacted with certain things. Or, because, you know, he says things, and then when he hears other people say things, you shouldn't say that in public. Motherfucker, you hear what the hell you say? You say the same shit.
Yeah.
Smack your wife's button. Yeah, I'm tonight. It's like, yeah, and if I said that about my wife in front of you, you'd fucking act like you're the priest and I'm fucking Satan incarnate.
He does it to me all the time.
Right?
I get all
And then
friendly
you'd be
with
like,
Amber, and like there was the one time where when Gusto and I were like in the living room, and he creeped her out bad.
yeah, you told me about
Because
that.
like
one.
we were sitting in the living room, and he's sitting there on the chair, and she's sitting on the other armchair. Alan's sitting next to near Merrimer. Merrimer's sitting on the couch, and he's sitting there and he's got his arms crossed. And I come over and I give Gusto a kiss and whatever, and
Give your wife
giving
gloves.
her
PDA.
PDA, and he's all like,
Because, no offense, there is no
and
private.
yeah, and he was just all like, don't be kissing my girl, and his wife is sitting right there, and she's just kind of like, and she kind of raised her eyebrow, and he's all like, and then
like I said,
and I started
it's
kissing
because-
Gusto more, and then she's all like, looks at him and goes, I'm not your girl, that's your girl, and points at Merrimer,
And his wife.
yeah, at his wife, and he's all like, she's like, I'm your daughter, and he just kind of like got all miffed and was just all like, well, he's still kissing, and I'm like, just a little creepy, just a little bit, and then like
Like I said, it's the crossed wires from the this daughter back. Quit kissing my daughter. You know, making fun of you because you're kissing this kid.
Right.
But
which may
that's
make
not
sense in some
how
lens, but
it would.
with the way he acts about
But
it.
the way it wires, the wires go, the signal's fucked up when it comes back, so it doesn't come out right. So he sounds like a complete fucking nutbag. One, because he is, and two, because he can't process it properly to say it the right way. That'd be like me. Quit kissing her in public, you fucker.
Which is what you've said before, but it sounds like an older brother being, you know, an older brother.
Yeah.
As opposed
Quit
to a
sucking
creep.
face. We're at the gym.
Right. Which is what you've said before.
Oh, yeah. But I mean...
Then I hear chuckles from freaking a couple people that are on the machines, because they're all like... I heard one guy whistling, and he's like... Woof, woo!
Yeah, woohoo, yeah.
Yep.
I remember that.
He did a whoop whoop, and you're just all like... You're like, yeah, yeah. And it's like going... And I look into my breath, and I'm like... Especially I haven't been late to him in a while.
That had nothing to do with it. I was just picking fun because... Stop making out in public. But that is actually from the wife. I realized that. Because when she'd made a comment, I went... Fucking bitch. No! Because she literally is a bitch and like... PDA, it's like... That's what you're supposed to do.
That's
Like,
what
I
do.
got taught by Nanny and my mom, and even Russell said it, Dad. It's a thing of, if the bed's not squeaking, you ain't doing your job as a significant other.
Which, yes, when we do stuff with that desk week.
Well, I mean, that was
Especially when one
always
of
the
the screws
thing
got
told.
loose.
And I don't know how many times the wife and Russell will never admit it, but I've been told by Mom and other people that he bitches. I went downstairs to railing, we should have his fucking wife. I had to flip a bitch and come back upstairs. See my dirty fucking, well, I should say hairy white ass running the shit out of my wife.
Yeah.
He's all like, fucker. Dude, you're coming down at 1 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's supposed to be asleep. Shut the fuck up. Even Nephi would fucking make...
Yeah.
But Nephi would be like me. He'd turn it into a joke. Yeah. Shut the fuck up. I know. I hear you fuckers all the time. Half the time I'm on the phone with my girlfriend or one of my friends like, you watching a porn? No, that's my brother Rel and his wife downstairs. Directly under me. They live in the basement. Directly under me. In that room.
Yeah. No, it's
Nephi always made fun of me for it. I'm like, but that means I'm a good leg. It's like, it's not the point. It's like, why? Because it gets you hard? Maybe you should call your girlfriend. My brother's Rel and his wife. Send me a picture so I can jerk off real quick. I told him that once. He's like, I have. Shut up. He admitted to it. He's like, shut up. I've had to do that once or twice.
See, it is.
Pull up a few of the pictures that girls have sent him.
You probably have already learned by now, TPAW has no shame when it comes to sex or it comes to any kind of intimacy
Neither does
whatsoever.
Karnage.
Because like, there's no point to shame. Like,
But
why are you
see,
going to shame somebody for
But see,
that?
here's the funny part. It's not shame.
Yeah.
It's poking at you to see if you show shame. Because if you show shame, that means there's some seated insecurity about you being made fun of for showing love. I do it to see what your reaction is. Your reaction is healthy, and like, yeah, fuck off. I literally said the one thing, you didn't give the reaction I thought you were going to give. You're like, yeah, I am. And I'm like, just like me, okay, we're good. And then I just move on.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it.
Uh-huh.
I made the comment, and you started kissing her more. I'm like, okay, and I just moved on.
Yeah.
End of conversation, end of poke you, see what your reaction is. Okay, keep moving.
Yep.
That's literally how I play my life. It's, or, nah, they didn't do anything. Okay, they're cool. That's how I make friends. I poke.
Yeah.
And depending on the reaction I get, good, bad, or neutral, depends on whether or not I know I can actually like shoot the shit or be 100% honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, so I gave you crap when I first started coming over, when Nephi started dragging me around to like just hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
I started poking to see what the reaction would be. Y'all gave the proper, I mean, I knew Gosiel would instantly give the proper reaction. I wanted to see what yours was. Yours was perfect too. So I'm like, okay, we're good.
In fact, there was a couple of times where your eyebrows shot up in your head because you're like, oh, okay, he's going to react that way. And I'm just like going, what'd you expect for me to be like, oh?
No, I didn't expect anything. I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
I think I told you that once. No, I just wanted to see what it was.
I
Wasn't
literally-
expecting that.
I literally have gotten annoyed because, like, I'll be sitting there in the living room and, you know, being all flirty with Estelle and
The
then,
wife.
Yeah, and
Nothing
then,
wrong with that.
And then Daddy-O fucking is in the room. He's like,
Oh, butthurt.
and I'm just like going,
Jesus Christ, dude.
I married her and made her
Like you fucking asked, motherfucker.
for like years. Gave you what you fucking wanted. Confronted my fears. Confronted my, you know, nightmares and shit. And you're still acting like an immature little bitch. Got it. And I just kind of like, you know, because I have no shame when it comes to that. I have no shame when it comes to PDA. I have no shame when it comes to sex.
But like I said, the wife is like, bitch. Devil's Angel, the wife.
Yeah.
We'll just use her online name. Devil's Angel. Bitch, don't do that. Don't do. Why are you so nervous? Why do you make yourself, and this goes into the shame part, why are you making yourself feel shame for being shown love?
Yeah.
Do you no longer love me, or are you just shameful like, oh, we're in public, why would you do that in public? It's like, what are you, 60? Hell, not even 60. What are you, 80? Oh, wait,
Right.
no, I can't even say that. What are you, 15, bitch?
Right.
I gotta go reverse instead of forward because most women I know in their 60s and 80s, damn straight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're straightforward and to the point. I mean, I've seen it on TV shows, but I've actually seen it in real life too. Like, and
Yeah.
it's like, all right, yeah, no, that's a lady I can talk to, shoot the shit with.
Yep.
She's like, and
Yeah.
yeah, I love that energy.
Yep.
It's the best energy in the world.
It's funny is at Katrina's wedding when they were getting in the car, you know what I yelled?
Huh?
Stoochie boochies!
Nice.
It was I got a couple laughs from a couple people, Amber being one of them, or
Of
Estelle
course.
being one of them, and of course Katrina went, "He's a dork," and then I heard him audibly be like, "Is that a Kevin Smith reference?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, he got it," because
Nice.
you never know, like you never know if someone has watched them or knows anything about him, so I'll just throw
It's
up my.
kind of a throw in the
you
dark.
know.
Let's see where the dart sticks.
Yeah, I was like, let's see if the pretty colors happen. Let's see if, you know,
Realization.
yeah.
Yep.
And like, you know, because I'll make stupid jokes like that all the time. Like, there was one time where,
Sometimes you make them and I'm like, I don't recognize that from which movie's that from?
yeah, like there
Because
was,
some of them I haven't seen. I mean, I know about them. I know some of the jokes.
yeah,
But on some of them, like, I don't know where that's from. I've heard him say it
You
too.
were-
I don't know where the reference is.
it wasn't the comedian you were talking to. It was the other guy in the hot tub. But you were talking about guys about something, and some number was being brought up, and he literally looked at you guys both and said with a straight face, 37. And then like when you didn't immediately react, but he did. He was all like 37, and I'm all like, in a row. And he's like, yeah. And then you just went, is that a like Clerks?
I'm like, that's from Clark's, isn't it? And you're like, oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You give the reference I don't know anything about. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And just move on with the conversation.
Yeah. Like I'll make
Or
random
you guys will
references,
start
too.
talking, and then I can just sit back and just enjoy y'all geeking out over Clark's and shit. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, and what's funny is I'll make all sorts of references around Alan all the time, and he just kind of goes, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Really? That was actually something you do."
He should know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Sometimes
y'all
his
like
head
watch
is so-
the same stuff and
Sometimes his head is so far up his video games or so far up his own ass. I'm just like, if I made a Star Wars reference, would you get it? Because like sometimes that guy.
I understand
oh my God.
because you've made the reference something that he should get because you and him watched it way back when y'all were kids. And he's like, huh? And I'm like, no, I even know that one. What the fuck's wrong with you, bitch?
Yeah.
I've watched that movie. I know that one.
Yep.
And he's just like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, are we dealing with Fat Russell? What the hell happened here?
Well, they are similar.
Well, no, I mean, that's where my brain goes. Because Dad's broken because of his head,
Yeah.
which shattered his spirit.
Yes.
Alan's broken because he can't get over the past and still living with the misery of what the hell he himself caused,
Which
but
I've
he'll
been
never
there, yeah.
will admit he caused.
Yeah.
Because that causes more pain.
Yeah.
But the issue is if you don't admit it, you literally are just putting yourself on rinse and repeat forever.
That's actually what I
fuck
learned
that
the
shit.
other night when I was in the car with them, is that his attitude.
You made that reference?
Yeah, his attitude towards different things. This is all just stuff that we were talking about. Attitude towards certain things.
Analyzing it, yeah.
Yeah, like there are certain things that his attitude and my attitude are completely different on, and that our wavelengths are so different on. Like, you know, you just mentioned the whole he's courting his trauma and he's kind of still stuck in the past in certain areas, and that's where I was.
Happy in repetition.
Yeah,
Happy
that's where I
in
was.
living in your own clusterfuck repeatedly, because the funny part is the human psyche and the way the body works is because you know it, even though it's shit, you know what to expect, you know what's coming, so you try to keep in that shit stack because you always know what the outcome is, so that way you're always prepared for it, so that way you don't get hurt again.
Yeah, and
But what you don't realize is you're hurting yourself 10 times worse because you're literally keeping yourself in the worst possible circumstance ever, and you're literally lighting yourself on fire like a Buddhist repeatedly because fuck the world, everything's shit, but I'm gonna burn with a smile on my face even though I hate this and this hurts.
Yeah, and literally, guys, I will literally tell every person that I end up knowing in real life, like, people will, okay, if you guys are thinking that TPAW just says shit and it just says yes a lot to things because he's not really listening or processing information, you're dead wrong. I am someone who will acknowledge what you're saying, even if I don't agree with it, I'll say yes. Like, people think yes is an agreement, right? For me, it's
Not
a
always.
acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement statement of, like, I hear you and I hear what you're saying and I'm trying to respond so that you think that I'm not just, you know, spacing out or not listening or zoned out. And so with someone like Alan, or, you know, my stepdad Jose, or anybody else that's in my life in real life,
Except for me.
except for him, I will bounce off shit off of him, off of what I'm seeing other people around me are doing, and he'll give me feedback of what he thinks about it, and then I'll end up telling them about it.
See it
Yeah.
from a spiritual
And-
point of view. Yep.
And with Alan, he's an interesting case because I can't mention Karnage or his regular name because he will get angry about it. Like, it's weird. He will get angry and he'll get super sensitive and
Well,
defensive.
that's like if you say
And I'm like,
Kate.
okay.
It's like rage.
Yes.
But
Now, certain people I talk to,
If I say Emery
yeah.
and you don't realize who I'm talking about, you'll be perfectly fine that that's a great idea. But as soon as you mention one specific name, or this person said this, or this is something I know,
Yes.
you mention the person who said it in instant rage mode because fuck that motherfucker.
Yes.
It's like, why are you mad at them because they've moved past where you're still stuck? I'm trying to tell you the information that I've heard 1,000 times from this person so you can move past it. Fuck that because that person said it's like, dude, like, quit living in the past. You're doing it right now.
Yeah, like Jonas and a few other people that I know that absolutely cannot stand Tate to the point where their cognitive bias blocks them from acknowledgement or blocks them from actively listening and processing and comprehending what's being said. They hear the word Tate, or they hear the word Andrew Tate, the words Andrew Tate, and suddenly out of nowhere, just this bristling, angry reaction happens where their synapses is full of anger.
They put up the blinders.
Yes, exactly. And see, that's where I'm actually agreeing. And there's a difference there. And so, so when it comes,
Ow, bubbles just went up my nose and made me laugh.
so like
I love
basically,
that, but that's funny.
Basically, when it comes to that, I had to like literally. There was one time where I wasn't manipulating the guy, but I was testing to see how he reacted to the different people. I was like, Emery said this, this, and this, and this, this, and this, and the guy was like, "Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, that sounds great." Blah 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 blah. And for like 3 days straight, I went, Emery says this, or Emery did this, or I was listening to a video with Emery and blah blah blah. And he's like, "Where do I find this Emery guy? Because he sounds awesome." And I'm like, about that. And then like he was like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, and I sent him a video, and he's like, "That's not Emery, that's Andrew Tate." And I'm like,
actually, his name is.
Have you tried Googling Andrew Tate before? And he's like, I hate him. I won't Google him. Well, fuck that. And I'm like, do you know that his middle name is actually Andrew Tate? Like, his middle name is Andrew. His first name is actually Emery. And he's like,
Wait,
you mean to say that the last few days you keep quoting Emery, and
Nice, got one.
you keep quoting Emery, and you're telling me now you've been quoting... I'm like, I've been quoting Andrew Tate all this time. I just used a different name.
Month, dumbass.
I just used a different name. I'm like, it's the same context as when I'll say, Arian, my son, and if I, use his middle name to address him instead, it'd be Peter. Or let's say I do Orion, because, Cass. I'll be like, if I'm addressing him as Orion now, not Castiel, same fucking person, it's just a different version of the name. It's kind of like with my wife has her first name that she goes by legally.
I'm the only one who actually uses properly.
That tends to use, yes. And so she has her second name, which is her middle name, that everyone knows her by in real life.
That's her nom de plume public name.
Yeah, that people will know her by instantaneously. Like every single family member, every single anybody will be like, oh yeah, that da. And then they'll know her as that. But that's actually her middle name. Her actual legal first name is different. And so when I was talking to this guy about it, I'm like, by the way, this, and this. So when I revealed it, he was like, you mean to say this the entire time I've been agreeing with Andrew Tate? I'm like, yes.
Yep.
And he's like, why did you do that? And I'm like, to check to see how you'd respond. He's like, that's fucked up. I'm like, not really.
No.
Not really. I just was using a different name.
Shows you your personal bias just because you hear Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I was testing to see how biased you were. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we've been talking. I literally told him, I'm like, we were literally spent like 3 or 4 weeks going back and forth over personal bias and how the average person won't listen to what is right in front of them if they're utterly biased. And
because of what they've been told.
Yes, and they won't process or comprehend what's really there if their bias or their cognitive bias is blocking them from what is actually in front of them. And you yourself were cognitively so biased against this guy, this image in your head, this projected image in your head of what you think of this person, that no matter what I said about him, you would instantly say no or fuck you or I hate that. And I'm like, even if it was a good thing, even if there were actual positives behind it, you still said no. Whereas if I changed the name to Emery, you're like, oh, that sounds amazing. And I'm like,
plus,
okay.
90% of what he says is actually stuff he learned from his dad, so Emery, his father, did say it. That's what I think's funny, because his dad was what's the highest level? He's like a champion of champions in chess, sort of thing.
Andrew said it at one point about what his title was.
He's talked about it a couple times.
It was a world famous chess player is essentially what it was, and he was
and
one
he
of
worked for the CIA.
Yeah,
so,
he was one of the only black chess players that made it to that position. That's what Tate himself said. It said that he was.
I think that's actually funny because it's like, Emery, his father, senior, literally. Well, it's not senior because it's not the full name, but Emery the dad, literally 90% of what he says is stuff his dad said or similar or something his dad has said around him, and he didn't realize it till he was an adult and went, oh fuck, Dad was right.
Yeah, he was talking about how he used to actually disagree with a lot of it, and he used to hate it because it was, guys. The guy was a very authoritative discipliner, and would very much
a true father in the best and worst way at the same time, which made him just a great person and dad.
Right, he was such a tactician about it that on one hand you'd be confused because you'd be like, isn't this abuse? But yet he meant it in a nurturing way, which leads you to all sorts of mixed signals of confusion. But he, apparently Tate says that what he has gone through in the last couple of years alone, he has now thanked his father, even though his father's no longer around. Even though his father's no longer around, he has thanked his father 1,000 billion times for everything he was ever taught growing up, because he wasn't just raised by a dad, he was raised by a tactical chess player.
And a true man, not just a little, okay, yes.
Who happened to be black. And, he was going on about that too. He's like, Dad was one of the only people that were professional, certified, awarded chess players that were professionals. and happened to be black. He was one of the only ones. He was like, it's crazy because you would think that there would be more of them, but yet for some reason there was a sea of white and white and other colors, but not black. And he was just like, he's like, so it was confusing. He's like, but he's like, it was super interesting watching our American culture, watching how Romanians are, watching how Americans are towards certain races, and knowing for a fact that I'm mixed race, and then seeing everybody just collectively agree to just start opposing me out of nowhere. And I'm like going, that is interesting, especially since for the longest time in American media, they love to romance people that aren't white. They love to romance the other races, especially blacks. And it's not a bad thing, necessarily.
Did you watch the video I sent you earlier today of him? The live one that was going on?
I was so busy with sick children.
Okay, he was doing an emergency meeting today, and he was talking about how...
I keep seeing that pop up too. Emergency meeting. There's a lot of emergencies.
Well, no, that's what he calls his podcast.
Yeah,
so.
I got that. I caught that after a while, because I'm like, is this really, like, is someone dying, or is it just the brand name?
That's just the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
But, I lost my train of thought, damn it.
Emergency meeting.
No. Something you'd said it was going into... Oh, I lost my train of thought.
Something about black. That's what I mentioned last, was that...
Oh, yeah, about how if you're white and a man, you're evil. But it's not just being white. If you're masculine and you're a man, you're instantly evil. You're the rapist. You're the bad guy. You're the
not sure in the sense that they
all
are
evil. But... That's what they call you, no matter what. And he was talking about it because he also brought up how one or two other cases of what he's going through and what Russell Brand's going through, how literally the girl lost the guy his job, and I think it was the NBA or the NFL.
Something like that, yeah.
And literally he recorded her, the girl admitting that everything that she was reporting and telling the courts and trying to literally get him basically thrown under the bus for was all bullshit and lies, and he knew it, so why is he crying like a bitch, sort of thing. And he did that and showed that to the court system, but yet they were still gonna throw the book at him, even though he literally had proof that she was lying the whole time. But so, because the courts didn't do anything, he threw it online and like, listen to this stupidity, and then everybody instantly flipped, and then he went and did the NFL or whatever it was for a few years, and then he's like, I quit. I can't deal with you idiots.
Yeah. That's the thing I find interesting about our media, too, is that...
It's not just social media, I mean, it's all media.
Yeah, it's that if you present yourself as someone who is very masculine, someone who is very, I wouldn't say aggressive, but proud of your masculinity, and willing to show your machismo, and very white, very either British,
it's not
Irish,
white either,
whatever
black guys
ethnic,
get it too.
Yeah, whatever mixed white ethnic background you happen to come from with your ancestors, if you present yourself as something that's very masculine and very, machismo and everything like that, and
unless you got boobs.
Yeah, unless you got tits, like, not man tits, but like regular tits. They will crucify you. They will find a reason to put you on, like, throw you under the bus
or make up a reason.
Yeah, or make up a reason or something. And so a lot of us men who are just like, especially me, I grew up watching wrestling. I grew up watching, WWF back when it was that, WWE. Like, I grew up knowing that...
Back in the day.
Yeah, I grew up knowing that the masculine man was bulky and muscled and fit. And so a lot of times when we go to the gym and stuff, I've made the offhand comments. He's probably noticed it a few times.
Yep.
Where I'll be like, I look like a fucking wrestler. And I
say, of course.
And then, like, we'll be sitting in front of the mirror and we'll be, like, all doing our flexing thing and whatever, just having fun as the goofballs. And there were guys next to us being like, oh my god, they're doing that. And I just look at them and just go, flex. and then the guy just kind of smirks and laughs. And when we go to the gym and he goes, good workout? And I'm like, hell yeah. And he's just like, yeah. And it's just like, it's
but
fun.
See, it's a guy thing, too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because I think it's funny how the younger guys look at us like we're nuts because we're the older guys.
Yep.
But the funny part is, it's like, shut up, you're young. You started working out sooner. So, no offense, kiss my ass. 1, because of my disability. 2, because I'm an older guy. And with you, I just say, shut up. You'll be where he is in a few years, junior.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yep. And it's funny is...
Go with the old guy line. Son.
Yeah.
Pisses a lot of them off.
Yeah, that's why, like, I want to throw caution to the wind on the fact that, like, anyone who's out there who's afraid of expressing yourself, because that's what it's getting to the point of. Like, it's getting to the point where people will change how they express themselves depending on the audience they're in front of. Or they will change how they talk or communicate based on the crowd.
The death of free
speech, yes. And
everywhere.
And they'll say, oh, well, you're allowed to have free speech, but you're not, free from the consequences. It's like, well, the consequence is all subject to determined by the mafia, by whatever mafia is driving the wheel.
And that's why I think it's funny, because Russell Brand has said it, and a few other people have said it. No, you're literally, your United States of American Constitution says, say whatever you want. What's the next thing they said? Oh, yeah. You can have a gun, because if you're going to say whatever you want, you should probably have a gun, just in case.
Yeah, and what's funny is I'm not even referring to mafia like the cool types from, like, The Godfather. I'm not referring to the ones that wear the suits or they have the cigars or the guns or whatever. No, I'm talking about...
They look cool, but
I'm talking about, like, ultra, like...
Asshole.
His favorite topic, Fourth Reich feminists, and then, like, some of the other types out there on the internet that, are like... You're so evil because you're a man. Like, that type of mafia. The ones that will be like, you'll say one little thing that has nothing to do with what they're angry about, and they'll find a reason to be mad. And you're just like, bruh, I exist.
Like the ones going after Jordan Peterson, even though all he's saying is, get up off your butt, clean your crap up, and quit being a lazy fat good for nothing.
He said other things too, yeah.
Well, I mean, he says it nicely, though, because he's a psychiatrist. He's a psychologist. It's the thing of, he says it in a way, unless he's raged or emotionally invested in another way, that's so nice that it's like, how are y'all angry at him? He's literally telling you how to put your shit together and be a decent human being, but yet y'all are angry about him telling you how to be a decent human being, not a raging idiot.
I even found it interesting listening to his daughter talk to that one dude on the talk show.
Piers Morgan?
Yeah, that one. And
I think I sent you that one.
You sent me one of the clips.
You,
it was a lot longer than the one you sent me.
Yesterday was the one he did with Peterson, himself. And then the next one's with him and his daughter. It was on the same for the TV show, but they did it as 2 different videos on YouTube. I understand why they'll make more money, blah, blah, blah. That whole thing.
It was super interesting having her explain.
It was really interesting.
It was eye-opening for me because, like...
I liked it.
Because there was a lot of talk on the internet between vegans and meat eaters, and whether or not you're evil for eating meat, or whether you're a good person for being vegan, or, whatever you do.
Oh, they're bullshit.
They'll all make up reasons as to what makes you good or bad, or quote-unquote. And she was telling the audience, me, being one of the audience members, that she got deathly sick when she was vegan, and she got, like, her body did not handle it at all. Like, it didn't handle any of the shit that they were trying to pump into her, and she was trying to do it for a while, and then she just stopped because she was getting too sick. So then she consulted her dad, Jordan, who's, psychotherapist, and he has his own little thing, and he's like, hey, she should probably do this, this, and this, and so she went ahead and tried the change, just because she's like, I'm fucking tired of being sick, and when she tried the change, instantly she started improving. And it's because her body just did not want it. Her body did not want any of the crap that they were trying to get her to pump into her system.
She's gone into it deeper in a couple of her podcasts, and I'll explain it to you because I've actually heard her say it, and she's talked to like doctors or scientists about it, and they're like, well, yeah, this is why. And what they said was, with the beef, the pork, and because she eats mostly red meat, so mostly beef. The reason with beef is because beef cows have multiple stomachs. It's not the same as eating the plants. You get the same nutrients, but you get more because it's the red meat. But also, the reason her body can process it as the same chemicals through the meat because it's 3 to 4 stomachs, I think, in a cow. You'd have to look that one up, double check me on those factoids. But because it's multiple stomachs, it's so processed by the time that the chemicals or vitamins get into the meat that by the time she gets it, and she says she's had to have like the steaks or whatnot as not aged,
Yeah.
basically just pure beef, because of how many stomachs it goes through. It's literally so filtered by the time you eat it as the cow. So everybody, like the vegans, bitching about you eating cow. What they don't realize is it's so processed through the cow that it's actually healthier for a lot of people because you get the same nutrients because they eat plants.
I know I feel a lot better after eating a steak.
Right?
After eating cow.
You don't have headaches, you don't... Because if you eat, like, just steak,
Yeah.
or like, Rogan does with the elk, because it's still red meat.
Mm-hmm.
But it's... Most of the animals that have red meat have multiple stomachs. So, and most of them are plant eaters. So, literally, it's the same stuff as eating the plant,
Yeah.
but it's so processed through their body that it's literally taking out all the crap that would hurt you from eating the plants. Because your body can't process it. That's why she does so well on the just beef diet.
Yeah.
The lion diet, as she calls it. Because there's no ads except for salt.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, because, like, I was thinking about
That's why we started eating animals, because they process the plants for us. We feed them the plants, and we get the same nutrition.
Yeah, it's funny, is when I was in the hospital to get treated for my ulcer back in 2020.
I remember that.
And I think it was the second or third day.
Yeah.
The doctor that came in that told the wife that she saved my life because I went into shock, and he's like, yeah, no, he was medically dead based on all the information presented, all the stories that he's told me, and all the stuff that he's talked about, or that he's told my assistant nurse, because it was a tall guy who I thought was a doctor, but apparently he was just the assistant nurse or his second in command, and then there was the Irish guy who is more Wiccan than anything, because he talked to me about Wiccanism, and I was talking about where I was in my head and everything, and asking him questions about it because I really wanted to just find out answers. And
because of some of the stuff me and you talked
yeah,
about.
and the stuff that was going through my head, and he was like giving me his intel on what he thinks and stuff, and trying to make sure that I was okay. And like they were a good team. And the guy, and as soon as the guy came in, like he was very Middle Eastern, very not from America, or if he was, then didn't show it. And he was like, he comes in, he's speaking with that accent and everything, and I'm like going, oh shit, okay, this is the guy that saved my life, awesome. And then like he's sitting there and like he's telling me, he's like, so you're going to eat red meat, you're going to eat steaks, and you're going to eat all this stuff, and I'm like going, wait, what? Then why haven't I eaten that yet? And he's like, because your stomach had a giant hole in it. He's like, was giving me the whole thing, and he's all like, yeah, because you were bleeding out of your stomach and you had a giant hole in it, we didn't want to give you that diet and then have it to wreck you because it's hard in your stomach lining. And he's like, it's good to build red blood cells, and it's good to help you build white blood cells. He's like, white meat helps with white blood cells, red meat helps with red blood cells. That's why it's called the two different things. He's like, but the thing is though, is that if you ate it at that point and you didn't follow, I had you go on a regimented diet that changed over the course of 3 days to test how your stomach and your body reacted to it. He's like, because of the fact that on the third day, you went ahead and I ordered you a steak, because he was the one who ordered the food. I wasn't me. They showed up with a tray of food and were like, eat. And I'm like, okay, I didn't choose it. And he's like, you don't get a choice right now. And so like they just handed me food. And and so the third day he was like,
because you were fucked up.
Yeah, and I was
We're
like,
not taking a chance.
yeah. Second day it was like, depending on how you are on the third day, we may do a blood transfusion. And that's how bad it was. And so
That
like,
sucks.
and on the third day, I'm sitting there, and he's all like, so they brought in like a really nice steak, like it was a small steak and everything with mashed potatoes and other stuff, and I'm like going, oh my god, it's like a birthday dinner. And then like I start chowing down and everything and enjoying it, and then like I'm like going, oh wait, I hope I don't die. And then like the next day, like I wake up again and I'm like, okay, I'm still alive. Okay, it sounds good. And then I come out of the bathroom, put on a stool, and it looks nothing like the stool that came out like 3 days ago. They poop. And I'm sitting there like, doing that thing. And
If
then
they don't know what stool means, they need to be kicked in the head, or or too young to be watching this shit.
So so the doctor comes in and he's like, so he's like, we did the tests on your blood levels, we got on your blood count, all this other stuff, and he just starts rattling through it fast. He's like, any questions? And I'm like, a lot. He's like, okay, let's start from the top. And so like I started having him repeat some of the stuff he said really fast. And
you didn't catch it the first time.
I was like going, okay, I hear I'm not dying. And so so he basically told me about the diet, the dietary, the meat, the appetite, and all this other stuff. And he was all like going, he's like, so the reason why I'm having you eat red meat right now, and I'm having you kind of switch you to a diet, is we're going to test you in 2 weeks to see if your stomach can handle it still, and just to see if your body reacts to it well. Otherwise, we're going to have to change you again, back to the original diet. And he's like, but the reason why you have to do red meat is because when you lose the amount of blood, he's like, you lost 3.5, almost 4 points of blood, which means
Ouch.
you lost a lot of blood. He's like, so what that means is that if you lost any more blood than that, it would have been a blood transfusion. And depending on how your body reacted to the last 2 days, blood transfusion. He's like, there was like a 70 to 80% chance you would have had a needle in your arm with blood going into it. He's like, but luckily, you were 20%. And so he's like, so right now, what we're going to do is we're going to transition you into a regular diet, and I want your wife to help you out with this, need her to, be full all in on this, on making sure that all these changes happen. And he's like, so you can't do this, can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. And I'm like, so I'm like a regular human, but not okay. And so like he's like you'll get there. We'll get you there. Okay. We'll healing takes time. Healing is pain and takes time. And he's just so like
healing is shit. He died.
Yeah. And so essentially when he like the guy nurse that was there was just all like he's all like, well, at least you're not being electrocuted. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, 1, 2, 3, clear. And the guy was just like, we'll try to avoid that. And then I was just like listening to him and everything. And as I'm like listening to this stuff, I'm like going, so what I'm hearing is that vegan diet would have killed me, and regular diet is good, and it's going to help me grow back my blood cells. And that means that all the other crap is really just a political agenda used to kill people. That's literally what I'm hearing.
The food pyramid is complete bullshit. Because they also have it wrong. Because what should be at the top, which is the worst thing to eat, is the overly processed grain bread. The way they process the flour. It's complete shit for you.
Yeah, well also bread for with ducks, bread makes them think that they're full when they're not, and it blocks out all the other nutrients that they're supposed to be getting from the other food that they eat. And so if you feed them bread, it blows up in their stomach because it's yeast.
Used to be very nutritious, but it's been grown for so long, and because they've changed the genetics, brain or mouth, either way, of corn, you don't get any nutrients from it anymore. Plus, because they grow it in the same field repeatedly instead of growing it in the field, then growing wheat, then growing corn, so that way the soil gets the nutrients back into it. That's why eating corn, you just eat corn to solidify your shit, so that way you don't have the runs and your body can properly process the other foods.
And ironically, corn does not digest in your stomach.
Corn chips and salsa when I was in the apartment in townhomes.
Yeah.
Like 90% of my diet was corn chips and salsa, homemade salsa. That was the healthiest I've ever been, and I didn't have the runs or anything. I had solid shits every day. No bullshit, none of the freaking crap I gotta deal with every once in a while.
What's funny is when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings or a Hispanic restaurant where you're eating the Hispanic food, you know what one of the biggest and most popular chasers are before the actual food gets there?
Oh, I love it.
Chips
They
and
bring
salsa.
me out chips and salsa. No, as soon as they bring... No, not that. I want the super hot salsa and the charred salsa. And another bowl or two.
Yeah.
Okay. They'll bring me out the sauces and then I mix them together.
It's the appetizer and the chaser before the
Because the
regular
charred
meal.
salsa has the flavor, but I want the heat from the heat salsa, so I literally mix them and just...
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's all I came for. Thanks for the drink. Alright, here's the credit card. Go charge me the $2 for the drink. What? I just wanted the free chips and salsa. And I knew you wouldn't bring them to me unless I bought a drink, so thanks for the free food.
Yep.
Bye. The fuck?
Yeah, it's funny.
The only reason I came was for chips and salsa, bitch.
There was one point where Cass actually, we went to take Cass to the pediatrician because his body was not reacting well to something that week. And we were like,
something he'd eaten,
we were freaking out about it because we weren't sure what the hell was going on because he was losing weight rapidly and it was, and he was starting to look a little sickly, like he, was when he initially was born. Because the first year Castiel was born, and he may not look like it now, but when he was first born, he was scrawny as hell. Like he looked like he would have killed over, and it's because of the fact that his digestive body tract, and combine that with the fact that he was a lizard baby, he had to be under the billy lights. His body was not absorbing the nutrients like it needed to be. And so, when he was like 2 or 3 years old, I thought the Billy Light thing was done. I was like, okay, that's folded, it's credits, now we'll move on. And then the pediatrician's like, well, how much bread has he eaten? And I'm like, wait, what does that have to do anything to do with it? He's like, it has everything to do with it. How much bread is he eating? And we're like, that's all he wants to ever eat is bread and maybe some stack foods. And like, I try to fit meat and veggies in there, but he likes to eat bread. And he still likes to eat bread even to this day. The pediatrician's like, well, try to limit his bread in count. And I'm like, wait, why? And he's like, because bread is not actually truly nutritious. It's kind of like chips.
It's just a filler.
It's air, essentially. It's yeast. That's the reason why it's called yeast. And he's like,
you're literally eating beer.
Yeah, he's like, you're eating beer and it's he's like, you ever wonder why when you eat hot sauce or when you like take chips that are really spicy and you have to put bread on your tongue because if you use milk or you use water, it just spreads it all over. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's because the bread is absorbing all the oil. And I'm like, I know that. He's like, yeah. So it's also absorbing all the nutrients and all the other stuff that's supposed to help him grow and give him, strength because he's a child, he needs to grow. And so the bread is literally keeping him from doing that. It's making him lose weight and it's making him and depending on how his body is, it'll actually gain weight because all he's doing is just inflating himself with air. And he's like, so you're gonna need to watch that. And so we had to literally like cut down how much he ate of bread and try to force him to eat veggies, eat meat, eat other stuff.
That's when he got into the big chicken nugget only thing.
Yeah, because
and
it was
then I started like, no, we need to cook real food. Come on. Yeah. Well, I can't cook on the stovetop. I remember that one night I came over and like I wanted dinner and the stovetop had broken, so I'm like, alright, I got this. Put the oven like hot as shit, put the food in, pulled it out with a hot pad, and started just cooking, pulling it in and out of the oven. Yeah, and I cooked everybody a big ass meal.
Yeah, we were like, we went to the store and got some extra stuff for him because the pediatrician recommended some stuff, and then we started just putting it all together into a little glass tray that I had, and so we put it in the oven.
You literally made a casserole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a mix of like veggies and meat with the breading and everything. It was casserole. Well, and Cass actually
think about it like this. What is pasta? Dried bread.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
It's thin dried bread.
Yeah.
Folded or pressed into a specific shape.
Yeah, that is true.
Or egg noodles. That's like flat, holy shit, thin, freaking goddamn spaghetti.
Yes.
That's why it's like, why are you eating the sauce and not the pasta? 'Cause I don't like the pasta. I just want spaghetti sauce. Yeah. It's like the whole lasagna thing. I don't need noodles. Just give me the... I'll make the lasagna for everybody else because they like it. It looks pretty. I like the design where I'm just sitting there with a bowl of sauce and cheese.
Yep.
You're literally eating a block of cheese and fucking sauce. Yep.
Yeah.
I can eat 2 blocks of cheese a day and never have an issue taking a shit.
Yep, and to this day, Cass still loves bread. He will literally eat an entire loaf of bread if we don't stop him.
I have to have bread, and I figured this out because I tried to go back on the the lion diet, do the meat only diet.
Yeah.
I actually figured out I think it's also because I finally hit 40, so my body's like, yeah, no, fuck you. Mm-hmm. I can't do the all meat diet. I actually need a little bit of bread the carbohydrates, bread or like chips or potatoes or something, because of the way it fuels the muscles, so that way they don't get sore. I finally hit the age where I actually need a little bit of carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but at least once a day or once every other day or once a week,
Yeah.
depending on how I feel.
Makes
Real
sense.
thing to find out was like, what? Oh, last year this did so well. God damn you, buddy! I hit 40. Now you just give me the middle finger, asshole.
Hey, I'm already feeling that as I'm beginning my 30s and going. I literally told the wife recently this last week. I'm like, I'm really feeling my age, and she's just like, really? And I'm like, I'm barely even like beginning 30s. What the fuck is my issue? And then she's just all like,
It's because we work
stress.
out so hard and you don't. Well, we don't properly eat food. But the funny part is,
The workout actually
earlier
helps
this.
me.
No, the workout's great, especially if you eat right before,
Yeah,
or actually it's better if you eat after. But
which
either
is what I
way,
do. I eat a lot of food after I work out.
Right? I'm hungry. My muscles need food to.
Yeah,
like a
I don't
fat
eat too
bastard.
much. I don't eat too much before. Like, what I'll do is I'll eat like a small thing. Like, let's say that there's down in the kitchen and it's got protein in it and stuff, like Taco Day, for instance, Tuesday. Or like, let's say there's other days of the week where there's some meat in there. I'll sit there and I'll eat enough of it to consider eating, be
To
considered.
satiate yourself.
Yeah, so basically it's kind of like a snack. And then I go to the gym, work out really hard, and then afterwards, that's when I pig out. A little bit.
Yeah, you usually get cheese or some meat sticks from Maverick.
Yep. And then I'll like get myself some food as well, just in case. Or if there's still food left over, I just go downstairs, nuke it in the microwave, and then I eat it with the other stuff. And I just pig out, and like the wife will be like,
It's so much
"You haven't
fun."
even eaten today, really?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, I will."
Well, that's why we used to go to ranchados.
Yeah,
Or
rancheritos.
Beto's.
Yeah, Beto's, because it's got that. It's got the meat,
with
red meat.
the corn
Yep.
being a carbohydrate, but it's a carbohydrate that helps you digest better.
Yep.
Literally, you're just eating the meat, cheese, and beans and or sour cream.
Yes.
It's literally 90% protein, or I should say 70% protein. The rest is just fat and carbohydrates.
Yes.
I mean, it's the best diet. That was the diet. Well, that wasn't the diet, but that was part of the diet because I was eating mostly pizza. Remember, I was eating all Little Caesars when I
Yep.
shrank.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw me, you're like, why the fuck's he just eating the toppings? I'm literally going for just protein. That's all my body wanted. I ate 1 to 2 slices, get enough carbohydrates, and then all I wanted was cheese and meat.
And literally, like,
Protein.
we went ahead and we got enough pizza for everybody at the apartment because it was like Friday. We're about to do Phasmophobia, which I missed the game. We were about to do that, and
Well,
we've
when
got
I
2 or 3
Get
hot
my
Betties.
computer or laptop working, or I make enough money signing up for Hustlers University, Real World, or now it's just university.com.
He literally bought University.com.
Yeah.
But like I was sitting there and we went got
I'll
3
buy a
hot
new laptop,
Betties.
then we can go play Fast
Correct.
for shits and giggles on Fridays.
Yeah, I missed the game. In fact, Arian remembers it. I was like on the backyard, and
Yeah.
Arian was sitting on the chair, and he's like, "Daddy," and I'm like, "Yes, buddy," and he's like, "Why don't you play Among Us?" And I'm like, "Because we haven't been able to play that recently." He's like, and I'm like, "You remember that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I remember going to Uncle Tim, and then seeing him nearly kill you, and then remember going upstairs and seeing Mommy nearly kill Fi-Fi, and then like she was like, so he was telling a story about us all playing Among Us in one area,
and
then
eating each other to
yeah,
death.
yeah, and then he's like, and then you and Mommy and Uncle Tim all played that scary game that goes rah, and he's all like, and then he's like going, and then you guys were talking to Jonah, Andrew's. My Uncle Andrew's friend, you guys' friend. And he's like, and you guys were all getting scared by the ghosties that go, rah! And I'm like going, yes, indeed, buddy. And he's like, why don't you do that anymore? And I'm like, are you wanting to see us get scared shitless by ghosts? He's like, yes. He's like, he's like, you could play in the office, and then I could be in the office. And I'm like, I'd die with you around. And he's like, no, you wouldn't die. You just go, rah! And I'm like, no, I would die with you around because you make too much noise. Like, I'd be quiet, I'd be like this, like a mouse. And I'm like, and then I would die. He's like, and I go, ah! And I'm like, you mean you trigger the Revenant or the Wraith or something? And he's like, yeah, because it's funny.
Sadistic little shit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Arya
But I
was
mean, that makes
wondering about it.
sense.
Yeah, no, he was like, he's
He
like,
remembers the goofiness whenever I just come over, get on a phone call with you guys, and we just play our asses off.
yeah, no, I asked him, I'm like,
The
well,
wife always bitch, God, you're loud. I'm not loud. I just have to make sure everybody can hear me. You're like loud. The kids are gonna wake up. I'm like, dude, I railed you into next year and you screamed like I was killing you. Shut up. If they were gonna wake up, they'd already woken up.
yeah,
And then I'd go back to play and she'd get pissed and run off.
and like what's funny is I asked him, I'm like, well, what? So do you miss it? Like, he's like, yeah, can we go back to the apartment? I'm like, we can't. And he's like, oh. He's like, what? And I'm like, do you not like this place? He's like, it's kind of boring without my tablet and scary. And I'm like, why? He's like, Papa, he sucks. And I'm like going, oh. And he's just all like, yeah, he's always angry all the time. He's always like, rah, rah, rah. And he's like always yelling at us and yelling at you. And it's just never happy. He's like, and my teacher always tells me that we need to be happy. And yet, Papa is never happy. And the only time he's happy was when everyone's sad. And I'm like, that's a hell of an observation from a child.
But, out of the mouth of babes.
Yeah. Like he literally was just like telling me, he's all like, from her, he's standing as an 8-year-old child. He's like, the only time his grandfather's happy is when everyone else is sad. And he's never happy when everyone else is happy.
Like I said, it's the demon. Aha, I got you all to look. Aha, you are all are worthless, angry, miserable pieces of shit. Hee hee, I win.
Yeah.
And then it stops harassing Dad. And as soon as it stops harassing him, because everybody else is in a shitty mood, for some reason he's all happy and whatnot because he's not getting kill, fucking yell, scream. It's not the little demon poking you.
But Aryan is extremely observant.
Oh, like he's aware. All of them are aware.
Yeah.
They're children.
Yeah.
They're so aware. And if you point that out to him, he gets more pissed because you're pointing out to him how they literally see the demon on his back, which is the size of a full human or bigger, literally just harassing him to yell, scream, and almost kill everybody.
Yeah, no, Aryan, Cass actually pointed it out.
That he can see the little demon?
Yes.
Or well, not little demon?
Yes.
Because depending on the day, depends on whether or not the demon's little, or whether it's gigantic because it got fuel all day, so it has enough fuel to literally torment him as soon as he gets home at full fucking volume.
All 3 of them can see the
4
presence.
4,
yeah, because Luciana.
The one can't talk, but
yeah,
she sees it.
Yeah, no, Aryan literally, like, there was one day where I was in the living room and I was doing something. I think I was picking up some stuff, and Aryan was on his tablet, and Russell comes in to go yell at us, and Aryan goes, "Go away, demon." And Russell's like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "You heard me. Go away, demon." And he's like, "I'm not a demon." He's like, "No, but you have one with you."
Yes!
Like, I see him right there. He's right there behind you. He won't shut up. And I'm like, fuck. And then, like, Cass goes, yeah, it's a monster. It's on the back of Papa. And I'm just like going, oh, shit.
But see, that's always my thing. It's like, the kids know, you stupid. It's like, no matter how much you want to deny, Dad, you literally have a demon who's been attached to you for, let's see, since I was 5, so 35 years, 3.5 decades. Go fuck yourself, put your head out of your ass. Because it only climbs up his ass when people are here. When you and the wife and the kids were here, when it was just him and Mom, no matter if, because they both work, so the dishes didn't get done as much as they should have. I'll admit that from the few times I came over. But the thing was, when nobody's here, he's mellow. Why? Because the demon can't keep it latched onto him because it can't bitch about anything. Because him and Mom are working so much that anything that's shit or cluster or complete poorhouse about this place, it's his freaking fault. So he can't bitch at anybody. His mom's never heard she's working her ass to death.
Yeah, I know. She's doing like double shifts all the time now too.
Yeah. The thing is she's working so hard, he can't bitch because she's never here to clean it up, and he doesn't clean up after himself. So who's he going to try to kill? He can't kill himself.
Right.
Because he knows he'll go straight to hell. Although what he doesn't realize is he's probably going there anyways. Well, what he considers hell.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
It's that weird fact where, like, dude, do you realize you're worried that we're all going to send you to hell, but by your reactions, because you don't interact, you react to everything and anything. If there's not something to react to, you pull literally fucking something out of thin air so that way you can react. So you're literally digging your own grave, but straight to hell. You know that, right? I'm not going to hell. All you fuckers going to hell. The only reason I'm going to hell is because of you guys. I'm like, see, you're reacting. You're not interacting.
So you can't even go to hell because of somebody else.
Yeah.
You can only go
it's
there if it's on
of
you.
your bullshit and your judgment on everybody else. That's why I don't judge. That's why everybody, like I said, the cousin Kayla, like, why haven't you, like, gone full nuclear? It's like, why? Literally, the book, no matter what religious book, in all of them, of the three major religions, Judaism, Christian, Muslim, the three big ones, say how you judge and see everybody else is how you're going to be seen and judged when Judgment Day comes.
Well, it's also because it's a manifestation of your own psyche. It's you
it's not
pushing.
your psyche, though. See, there's the thing. It's your soul. See, what everybody calls your psyche and what
Well, I say it because it's your mind. It's connected to your soul.
But the programming is it's literally like you looking at the screen.
Yeah.
You click on it, shit, the whole thing went to pot. User error.
Yeah.
This is literally poisoning that. That's why I've said smoking and all the other anything else I've done that's going to like completely fuck me.
Mm-hmm.
I've already asked for forgiveness for because you cannot always 100% control your meat suit.
Right.
And I brought that up to somebody at the thing I was at today. I told him how I've told you that from my viewpoint, it's literally your soul's attached to your meat robot, your meat suit. Meat suit made out of meat.
Yeah.
And then went, oh. And I literally saw the third eye go, oh.
Yeah.
I literally smacked him, facts!
Yeah.
And then went,
yeah.
I love it when that happens. I loved it at the beginning when you were like, wait, what? And I'm like, yes! I'm breaking the armor that you've put up because Mom and Aries and just everything.
Yeah, just all the things that have happened to me.
Yeah. It's like, I gotta break through the armor so that way you become who you truly are.
Yeah.
You've taken on a lot of my craziness, but it's also who you really were with the trauma in your life. You realize through my lunacy how the trauma is not a bad thing. You use it to map out how to get to a better end.
Right. It's a survival mentality.
Oh, yeah.
And then the thrive mentality.
It's no matter what happens to you, you have to be the best. But I like how that fits into all of it.
Yeah.
Him and his stupidity because he can't see the end zone. He can't see the end of the race. And he instantly thinks he's going to trip, fall, and go straight to the freaking die in a lava pool.
Right.
But what he doesn't realize is he's literally taking himself there. If he could come to that, not physically, not mentally, but from a spiritual, his spirit going, oh my God, duh.
Right.
It would literally fix his soul with as fractured as it is, because since he fell, broke his head, and the wipeout and then the reprogramming from getting the blessing, getting healed, because he believes in all this stuff in the church.
Right.
His belief, when the blessing was given, made his body go, oh, okay, heal. Like, almost instantaneous. So, because that happened, his soul became fractured before that. And it's the weird thing, like we always talk about, like we've been talking about, how the realization
Yeah.
from what is to what you see. I love these conversations because it's so, like the title, enlightened,
Mm-hmm.
become exalted.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in this meat suit. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I do
and-
things that are evil and despicable that I'll either burn for 1,000 years, which in this existence, it kind of goes into the Constantine movie. A lifetime in hell, and I was only dead for 2 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So think about that. If time is different there, and literally I spend 1,000 years or 1,000,000 years getting my, literally paying for my sins,
Yeah.
and then I can move on to the next step and not be tortured forever. Dude, I'll take the 1,000,000 years of torture just for the freaking the rest of existence without torture.
Yeah, I literally thought that like a week or a month or maybe even a year had passed while I was blocked out when
It was like 2
Yeah,
or
when
5 years.
when the wife was resuscitating me and shit. I thought a long time had fucking passed.
Yeah, 2 to 5 years.
And then all of a sudden out of nowhere I find out it's only been like 2 to 5 minutes. That, like the
Each
dog.
minute is 1 to 10 years on the other side.
Yeah.
Time works way differently than that.
Yeah. Like I
But
was
that's
super
also
confused and
If
disoriented.
you think about it, that's you dying knowing time from this existence. The 24-hour thing.
Mhm.
But here's the funny part. From God, the exalted, the higher entity, not Satan, not the lower entity, or stuck on the slightly above this plane,
Yeah.
he told Adam, you'll die in the first day. 1 day to God is 1,000 years to us. So what does that mean? Literally, we're living in done.
Yeah.
Literally, that's it. That's what he sees. That's why he knows what's going to happen, because he's seen it 1,000,000 times before. Because
Kinda
he's
like-
made 1,000,000 other existences, realities, and
It's kind of like you're writing a chapter in a
Dimensions.
book, and like it only taking you like, for me, like maybe an hour or two, or maybe 4 hours to write, you know, a giant
yeah.
nice
And
scene.
for you, 4
And-
hours is 4 milliseconds to God.
Right, and then like, and for the characters, it could have easily been a year. Could have easily been whatever timeline I was following. Could have been a whole day, and yet for me it was
Or
like,
a whole month.
yeah.
Yeah.
For me it was like a couple
Yeah.
hours. Yeah, done.
Yeah.
And it was a very short time, and so
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of how it is for
It's
the other
the weird
creator.
thing. Just think about it. If we're moving that fast and or slow to him, from his point of view, we're moving slow, I guess,
Yeah,
is how it would be. Because if 1 day is 1,000 years to us, us looking at it from that point of view is fast. For him, we're moving so slow, but at the same time, because he made us, so he already knows what our programming is. He already knows where we're gonna go before we're born.
yeah,
It's the thing, you program the AI, but if you forget to put in code, it'll fill it in. That's part of the human existence. You're literally filling in the code that wasn't pre-programmed into you.
hmm.
And also because of the veil, you're not allowed to know what happened before your physical existence. You don't know what the previous programming was. So you're literally going from a Control-Alt-Delete everything, and now you're having to go from scratch.
Yeah.
Here's the operating system, that's all you get, motherfucker. Have fun.
Kind of taking a computer and completely rebooting the operating system and starting from scratch with the
Yep.
with the. Are they
And
with
you
the same
wipe
exact operating
out
system or a
the-
different one?
You wipe out the previously saved files when you reformat it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what existence is in this mortal coil.
Yeah.
It's interesting because that's where I see Dad all of his bullshit from. Because he doesn't realize this is in the grand scheme of forever.
Yeah.
This is literally a pinprick in the existence of everything. It's a flash of light, snap of a finger, however fast you want to say.
Yeah.
It's done.
Mm-hmm.
For you, it's dragged out.
Yeah.
But if it's dragged out for 100 years on this existence, and you live forever after, how fucked up is that going to mess with your recollection of reality when you no longer have the physical form? How is that going to like completely warp your reality? And this is like me talking to you like last Friday about the whole thing of people think too small. I've said it on here repeatedly. That's the issue with the way people think.
Yeah. It's too small. It's
Yeah.
very micro.
Mm-hmm.
Very macro.
It's macro of a macro.
Yeah. 'Cause it's like, because macro photography is when you take a picture of something super up close. It's like being in a movie and like the movie, because
Zooms
like
in to
yeah.
see all the little dots on your
Yeah,
skin.
because like when you're watching a movie and like if you're the audience and you're the camera is zoomed in like this to where your face is like that, that's macro photography. It's super close, super up personal, intimate. Whereas
and then they pull back.
yeah, whereas landscape photography is super zoomed out like this, and you can see the trees, the house, like the overall setting. It's what a lot of filmmakers use when they do an external landscape shot, and you can see the whole world or the whole view of that landscape.
They also, I like it when they use that to transition from one scene to the next. Like there's a fight, and they show the close-up where the skin touches the skin, and then when they zoom out, it's not actually skin. That's like the dirt or it's the sand on a beach on a beautiful day.
Yep.
5 days later, or the next day, next scene, sort of thing. And it's like, I like that transition. That was nice.
Yeah.
I love that sort of shit,
The
because
film
that shit to me
transition.
is like, "Waka!"
Yeah, scene transition where like the person, it's obviously a fist fight happening, but then it usually either
Instantaneous.
fades.
It's like a day later.
Yeah, it's like it cuts to black or just cuts to the next scene entirely, and it's completely different, or it does like a transition thing where you see the image start to fade out and into the next one, and that's the transition that he's talking about. So that or just cut straight to the next scene, and then suddenly out of nowhere you're just in another thing without it changing much.
But see, I like the zoom out
Yeah.
thing, because it's like, this is existence. No, this. It's like, my hand is reality. No, the entire room's reality. Oh wait, no, that's too small. The whole world's reality. The universe, the galaxy,
Yep.
the cosmos. No, the cosmos is cosmos. You know, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. No, it's only getting bigger and bigger if you actually pull the camera back far enough. If you don't pull the camera back far enough, all you see is, here's your stupid TV show,
Yeah.
or here's your play.
Yeah.
This is all you get to see. That's why I like the 48 Laws of Power. That's also why me finishing the 12 rules,
12 rules of life or something like that.
I don't know, let me pull it up.
Yeah.
I want to pull it up because I don't want to say Jordan's. Yeah, 12 rules for life.
12 rules for life. All right.
I finished it today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good book.
That's good.
It made me think of 48 Laws of Power, so I listened to the first 5 pages of that before I stopped. Rope Hopi.
Yeah.
Just to give me something, because it's the same mentality.
Hmm.
Some of the stuff he said, I'm like, oh, like this rule, or this law in the 48 Laws of Power. Oh, like this law.
I have found
you
myself.
mean like this psycho da-da-da-da-da, which goes into this law, but you're also using it for this rule.
Yeah. No, I found myself quoting 40 Laws of Power recently.
And not even realize it until
Yeah.
after the fact.
Yeah. And then I would put in a parentheses because you know the asterisk, the parentheses.
Yeah.
I would put in a parentheses 48 Laws of Power, and my brother, for instance, Andrew, would be like, you know, a middle child. He'd be like, wait, what are you quoting? And I'm like, 40 Laws of Power in parentheses. And he's like, what is that? And I'm like, it's a book. Look it up. And then like with Nico, I would then do the same quote. Or with Alan, I would then be like, oh, by the way, this is from that book that I was talking about with Karnage on the podcast. And he'd be like, what book is that? I'm like, 40 Laws of Power. And it's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, he's like, why do you keep bringing that one up? And I'm like, because I'm fighting
It's-
just how
it's-
valid it is.
The stuff that 48 Laws, or even if you want to go with the Jordan Peterson, the 12
12 rules
rules of life, literally, it's just psychoanalyzing everything, and whether you realize it or not, that you do that, even if you're not aware you do it, and when you point it out to everybody else, it's like, I've never looked at it like, you're hurting my brain, stop it.
Yeah.
And they hate it because they're like, don't show me I'm only looking at the bowl, I'm gonna look at the whole fucking table. It's like, bitch, pull your head out of your own ass.
Yep.
Or quit hiding in the fucking soup bowl and just sipping.
Yeah.
Pull your head back and enjoy the whole fucking feast.
Yeah. Zoom out for a little bit and look at the whole board.
Fuck yeah. It's more fun when you can do that.
Yep.
And me and you talking about you telling me some of the experiences you're experiencing that what you can see where I know my brain can't click there
Yeah.
because of the way with me growing up I've formulated everything around me.
Mhm.
I feel it. All of it. I feel the different colors of energy, but I don't see the colors. Each one feels different to me.
Yeah.
So I know the lie, whether it's self-lie or whatnot. Like we were talking about how the color changes or the fluctuation of your energy changes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to see it. I feel it with such an, I guess, defined ESP would be the best way to phrase it, that I don't need to see it anymore. I saw it when I was real tiny. Like, before I was 5 years old, before, full consciousness came to be.
Yeah.
And I realized I didn't need it. It's a weird realization when you get to that point where like, oh, I don't need to see the colors because I already know what the picture is and I can feel the energy because I know what the wavelength feels like now that I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's like last week, one of the sound bites. Yeah, well, if God was always here, always fixing and helping you with everything, and not letting you do free will, then it wouldn't be a belief in God. It would be like, no, I know He exists because I see him every fucking day or every fucking week, or I always see him on the news fixing the stupidity of all these idiots.
Yeah. There's a certain mysticism too to spirituality and God, and certain
The belief versus
mysticism
I know
and
because
mystical.
I see him, so that's just reality.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I am. I know I've seen it. It is reality.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it because I already know it's there.
Yeah.
It's having the third eye so open that you become blind to all the colors because eventually it all just blends together.
Yeah.
Whether you realize you're lying or not, eventually it just all blends together and it's literally reality.
Yeah.
It's
Let's-
an odd realization when it first happens to you, and then once you realize, you're like, okay, keep moving.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's an odd thing.
Yeah.
And I wish, I've talked to Mom about it, and when I talk about it, I see her third eye opening more
Yeah.
because she's been so closed off. Me and her have always openly talked about
She's been closed off because of her survival circumstances with certain
With-
person we've been talking about. Survival.
Well, not just that person, with also just me and Mom's gotten real deep a few times, and this was when I was young. I mean, I was told when I was 12 years old, between the ages, no, it was 12 and 13, you are 1,000 years wiser than you should be for your age. I don't know how the hell you have the wisdom of an 80-year-old man at the age of 12. Don't ever lose that because that will completely fuck you. And I did lose it for a few years, and then I realized that I'm like, okay, fuck off, I'm going back to me.
Yeah.
And once I realized went back to me, Crazy went, you're not who I fell in love with, you're not you. I'm like, no, this is me. I held back because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. You've hurt my feelings, you don't give a shit about me. Here's 100% honest, 100% of the time. Eat shit and die or get on the fucking bus.
Yeah.
And with you being my brother, it's a weird dynamic because you weren't sure about the gym, you weren't sure about some of my lunacy at the beginning, but once you got to know me, it just became, it is.
Right.
Which I like because one of the things that Jordan talks about, one of the things that's in the 48 Laws, it's your friend's the one you got to worry about stabbing you in the back.
Yeah.
Because yes, we're nice, we're fucker, sort
Yeah.
of thing.
No, I look out for that for a certain person, but then it later.
I look at that from a few people.
Yeah, quite a few people.
Oh yeah. That's like this morning, the situation that happened. Crazy lunatic, 6-foot bitch, gave Connor a ride to school because he didn't leave until 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I'll just move over here, and then literally the wife's walking the daughter up to the friend's house, and I'm, okay, fine, that's cool. Then I'll just sit here on my phone,
Yeah.
wait, because I want to make sure she gets to school with enough time to eat. 'Cause that's always my concern, because she's made complaints to Gosiel, you, me,
Mm-hmm.
her grandmother, Mare.
Yeah.
It's the thing of, you don't realize the stupidity you are propagating because she has to do this thing. No, she doesn't, because she has a medical condition. Remember, doctor told us when she was young, Winter has asthma. Well, it's not an asthma attack. That's from your point of view, not hers. You're telling her wrong is like everybody telling you, you're not handicapped, shut up, get up, and go.
Yeah, exactly.
But yet you are shut up, get up, and go. I don't give a shit if it's fucking hell on earth outside. Quit being a lazy ass and walk.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking did it. But what you're not realizing is you're propagating the same BS that my dad does, and you literally are giving the same bitch. You picked it up from dumbass, who quite literally is just a taller, angrier fucking Russell.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the same energy from her too.
Yeah.
Like
Both
that,
of them.
Like the last couple times that I've been with them in person, that I've seen them
Been
in person.
around them, yeah.
Yeah, and this was even before the whole third eye business. I was near her. If I were near her now, I wonder what would happen. But like basically, when I was
Well, just swing
seeing
by
them,
tomorrow.
when I saw them at the church thing, that one day when
Nikki's baptism?
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw them at the church thing, and I saw Shrey especially. I was like, I looked at her and like, and I know that like from the outside, it just looks like I'm just looking at a person, but when I was looking at her and stuff, I noticed some key things about like not only her stance, body language, how she was presenting herself, but also just the energy she exuded.
Yeah.
It was very toxic, poisonous.
Confrontational.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yeah, and like when she was walking away,
Just
I could
like
tell.
that.
I could tell she had pain,
Constantly
but
confrontational
she was
because they can't deal
using
with
that
their
pain.
fear
Mm-hmm.
of being hurt.
Yeah.
When I said, I'm not going to hurt you, but here are the fucking lines.
Yeah, that's
And they
what I
kept
saw.
crossing them, and then I'm like, alright, I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I
washed
saw,
my hand of the
and
bullshit.
I know that like I've been someone that has said, you know, don't make snap judgments or don't make, you know, grand things about somebody within 5 seconds of seeing them, but I have gotten a lot of experience, especially with my ability to read people, and I've
Especially with some of the stuff
and-
you learned with, Brang?
this TV show Lie to Me.
No.
That's one of them.
Well, that's one of them, but no. With some of the stuff, I have it written. 3 Keys.
Yeah, Kirk Duncan.
Kirk, yeah,
Yeah,
was
Kirk.
saying about it.
Yeah, Kirk,
Some of the stuff
Lie
I
to
already
Me.
knew, but him
and then like all the
clarifying
various
that stuff just made me go, okay, I was right.
Yeah, so all the various stuff. Yeah, no, it was super illuminating having Kirk Duncan like confirm everything the TV show was teaching me, and like
And
show
just-
from his
or
point of view.
stuff you already knew
Yeah,
that
stuff-
you weren't 100% sure about. Like, oh no, this, and this.
Especially when
Like,
people try to deny it. Yeah, especially when people are tell you, oh, that's just a TV show, or oh, that's not right, or whatever. And like Cal Lyman immediately would be like, well, that's just you trying to tell me that you're wanting me to believe your lie because you're Homo sapien. But like,
Right.
but like basically, I was sitting there watching her and everything, and I was like, going, I can speak to the fact that I'm pretty damn well versed in learning all those things and being able to learn all that stuff really fast. And so when I saw her and everything, and I was observing her the entire time, and it wasn't just in that one hallway area, because there was the outer hallway that leads into that one room that we were in.
You have the hallway,
And then you have like the,
the
second
foyer,
hallway. Yeah.
the chapel, then the second foyer.
In pretty much every room she was in, I was watching her interactions with everybody, and she was always very standoffish, off to the side, which doesn't say much there, because I can be like that too. It's the way
you know
her energy
why?
was, and the fact that like she either had rested bitch face or something else going on.
It's not even resting. It's all conscious.
Huh.
She knows she's doing it, and she's doing it on purpose. Because she is anti anything that has to do with that church.
Yeah.
She was raised in that church.
So she's got a lot of hate towards the church.
She's got a lot of hate because her mother, with certain things that happened with some of the men her mother's been with,
Yeah.
I think she was molested or raped by one or two of the guys.
Oof.
And her mom's like, says 100% no the church, no the church, no the church. Kind of, like lunatic.
Yeah.
Beat you over the head with it. Where I'm like, no, here's the truth. And you're like, I've never seen it from that point of view because a lunatic and other people I know in the church.
Yeah.
And then some of the stuff I've told you, you've talked to your aunt about, who's a member, and she's like, oh yeah, no, that's like...
Yeah, it was...
And you're like, why the fuck did none of you people tell me this? Why are y'all like hiding this like it's a goddamn secret? Him telling me is making me see, okay, this isn't Satan's church, it's actually a more exalted church than the rest of you idiots in other churches who are literally worshiping Lucifer and you have no clue, sort of thing.
Right.
Which we've discussed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how perception is, especially when, like, my Aunt Tammy, who is a massive, as she calls it, Molly Mormon, and then you got, like, you, who is kind of a mixed mud of all trades, but,
I believe that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it in its truest form,
yeah,
it's where it came from, its origins and everything,
yeah,
is as close to 100% true as you're gonna get in the current world with all the fucking fake religions that are out there. They each have like a 5 to 10% of the truth. None of them talk to each other. And they all call each other liars, even though they're all saying the same thing, 15 million different ways. And none of them are saying what's true. Each one has a piece. That is the closest thing to 100% true. And I took what I learned outside and inside, growing up inside the church, and I've shown you what I believe is 100%. And I've had more confirmation since I've been in the ward I'm in, through people who are not spiritually and physically locked, brain-wise, to believe the LDS and Mormon propaganda, who are actual members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who are aware of reality in the truth.
Yeah.
I love it, because where I'm at now, more people are more aware of what is actually there. That's why, like I was saying, the guy who I've never met knew my name instantly, shake my hand like, I love you, you're awesome, let's talk, I want to know your story, and was like, just, more, give me more.
Yeah.
And I literally saw, and I'm like, I have to pull myself away, or I'm never going to go podcast because you're going to want me to keep talking and literally open your third eye to an extent you're not ready for yet. I have to leave before I break your reality ball and make you see the full scope of everything in every existence everywhere and completely make your brain mail out of your ear. I'm going to go. You can have donuts. Take them with you. Okay, thanks, bye.
It was super interesting and weird after having a couple conversations with this guy this motherfucker over here, and then like asking him some things about his take on some things, because I do that. I'll ask him weird shit, like random shit late at night, and
at the gym
and
or
like,
while we're driving,
and I'll say, hypothetically speaking, in this situation, if this were to happen, what would you do? And he'd be like, okay, go on. What did something happen? And I'm like,
I need to hear more details.
And so then I would feed him a bit more about it, and like I just kind of like steadily go into it, and he would just kind of give me more ideas, and then like not even the next day, like out of nowhere, it was like a bomb went off in my head, and like I suddenly started hearing like I didn't hear the regular guy that's always back there that I don't ever talk about. I heard a bunch of gods arguing with each other, and when I asked one of them that was the most clearest voice, Loki, I was like, "Am I hearing this right? Like, am I having
LOM?
am I having a Deadpool moment, or is this actually happening?" And and then Loki's like, "No, it's going on." I'm like, "Okay," and then can I just call it God Radio? What do I call this fucking thing? And he's like, "God Radio is a good term for you mortals." And I'm like, "Okay, so why isn't it on all the way? Because I feel like it's like half-assed." He's like, "No, it's half." I'm like, "Why would it not be full?" And he's like, "You know what a brain slushy looks like, right?" And
Yeah,
I'm like
I said, rain
yeah.
melting out of your ears.
he's like, I've heard Karnage, or I've heard him mentioning Loki's like, "Oh yeah, I've been in his head, talked to him." Yeah, no, he's on the right track. Your brain, it's kind of like your brain turns to mush, and you start to go truly insane. See, mortals will assume you're going insane by even talking to me in the first place or being vocal about it, but. Yep. He's like,
that's why when we went to the locker room that night, I'm like, okay, not talk about it,
right?
Because we know some of the guys that were in the locker room that I'm like, I don't want them calling me nuts.
Yeah,
let's just talk about this in private for a couple weeks, and then we'll just talk about it openly in front of everybody.
Yeah, and some of them were kind of like, some of them in the pool area were looking at me all strangely, and I'm just like, whatever, like, that's not my problem. And so I
don't need them calling the loony cops to come pick you up at fucking the gym, dude. I'm there to work out.
Yeah, and so I was there like going, okay, and then he's like, yeah, so if you want your brain to turn into a full slushy, we'll turn the whole thing on, but I'm pretty sure you don't. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. He's like, we'll go the way we're going, and then you'll learn some stuff.
Oh, and have it open fully.
Yeah. And like I don't know, like there are frequent times where I will be doing my job or I'll be doing other things, and out of nowhere his snarky ass voice kicks in, and I'm like, where the fuck have you been? He's like, where the fuck have you been? And he's just like, around. I'm like, not in my head. He's like, oh, I've been in here, I just haven't said much, but I'm here and there and in my godliness.
Crazy Karnage
he's like,
every once in a while.
He's like, in my godliness, and I'm like, that's right, because he's like a god. Just like going, okay, and then I'm like, out of nowhere, I hear the other ones chiming in, and I'm like, I feel like I'm having a Deadpool moment right now. Like, I didn't get my head stabbed, I didn't get shot yet, I didn't have like a bunch of stuff happening to me. Like, I should be okay, and they're like, no, this is fine. And I'm like,
this is actually normal.
Yeah, like one of them was like, this is normal. Like, I think it was Anubis. It was like, this is normal.
That wouldn't surprise me. Anubis or the one from Greek. Hades. Yeah.
Yeah, like they were like telling me about how normal it was and how just mortals just are deaf to it.
God, so fucking stupid. But they fucking listen. They want to bitch, complain, and ask for shit. They don't listen when we give them the fucking answers. Bunch of bitches.
I had a couple of them tell me that.
Dude, I hear that all the time. I've been listening to that shit. God, are they fucking stupid? Yes, shut up. I know.
There's been a couple of times where I've actually responded to Loki in front of people, and they're like, huh? I'm like, don't worry about it. And like,
I do! You always see me. Shut up, I know.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where
you're like, what? Don't worry about it.
We were at the gym, we were walking down Blue Line, and he's just like, he shakes his head no, and like, he's in front of me too. Like, I'm behind him, because that point got in front of me. He has a CMT, but he got in front of me. And so I'm like, so we're walking along Blue Line.
In the zone.
Yeah, we got in the Blue Line, and he just goes this, and I'm like, what? And he's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, huh? And then he just kind of goes, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. And then when we get to there, I'm like, are you still talking to yourself? He's like, I said don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. I'll just
now you
right
know. Now. I'm talking to everybody, giving me 15,000 ideas at once.
Yeah.
All of them. There's literally a scale.
Yeah.
When you can hear the loudest jackass who is the father of them all bitching,
Yeah.
that's when it's like, fine, I'll do it. Shut up.
Yeah, I talked to Nico about it. Nico's like, you too now?
Love it.
Like,
Did you tell Nico when you told me? I went, and?
yeah, I told him that. And
What did
Nico's,
they say?
I figured.
I knew it.
Like,
Anywho, keep going with
yeah,
your story.
no, Nico was just all like going, like, yeah, because I was talking to Nico about it. I'm like, I said, hypothetically speaking, in a situation, if this were to happen, with this happened with a god, an immortal, and this thing, I'm like, because most of the time, anytime I ever hear about this stuff, it's usually in fantasy with mythological influence, called mythological influences. So, hypothetically speaking, in this situation, blah, blah, and I gave him the whole map, and Nico's like, oh, this would happen, at least from my perspective. And I'm like, okay. And then Nico's like, why does this sound oddly specific? And I'm like, nothing. And then Nico's like, no,
Bullshit.
something. And I'm like,
Why aren't you telling me,
well,
motherfucker?
Loki's a smartass. And Nico's like, I knew
Well,
that,
duh.
but what else? And then like,
Love that.
and then we were going back and forth, and then like I've heard that from Nico that apparently Lucifer and Loki love to bicker and whine in their head, and that there could practically be a cop show and a duo, and I'm like going, wait,
Okay.
that actually sounds
Do
like
you
last
know
weekend.
the TV show Rizzoli and Isles?
Yeah, I think so.
That's literally the argument between Loki and Lucifer.
Huh. All right.
It's the scientific versus the reality emotional versus the scientific reality. It's the same exact picture. They both argue about what they're seeing, but yet they're literally describing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Would y'all shut up? You literally just said the same thing. You're just being a snarky ass, and you're just being a fucking dick because you're a dick. That's not the point. I know the point. Just shut up, okay? Fine. Fuck you. Talk to you in a week. Fine. We'll see you in a week, bitch. And just keep going. Dude, this is the shit that's always going on in my head.
Yeah.
You think I'm ape shit nuts and you've always seen me go off and like
And like respond to things that don't,
in 50
don't
different
physically
directions.
appear to be
a
there.
million different conversations at once. This is what I'm listening to. I have all channels on at all times. This is the lunacy in my head. This is why everybody thinks I'm fucking kooky for Cocoa Puffs. Crazy. Because I am. But I'm so aware of my insanity, I'm sane.
Yeah, that's actually what
Loki said.
yes. He also it's been in my head for a while, producing from my memories, and said, do you remember how you read the Percy Jackson series with Rick Riordan? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you know that those are gods too, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I swear I heard a couple of them. He's like, you did. You heard Hermes. He's like, so, with that being said, you remember how the seer, or the people that have visions of the future are called insane, right? I'm like, yes. And he's like, that's essentially what this is like. And you are experiencing something your bro's been experiencing.
For like ever.
I said I would help with something. Started clapping his hands like a freaking smartass and started being like,
No, it's the
asked for
parent. No, you're thinking of it as smartass, but it's not really being a smartass. It's the parent going, good child, you finally did what I showed you to do 500 fucking times.
yeah.
That's literally what it looks like from their point of view.
Yeah, no,
It's annoying to hear that shit all the time.
Yeah, I know. I asked him one time as a joke. I'm like, so does that make you like a new daddy-o? Because I've been calling God dad, spiritual dad for the longest time. He's like, I prefer crazy uncle.
Well, think about it like this. Technically, I mean, Loki's gonna argue with me on this one, but that's a whole different discussion we'll have later. Probably while I'm sleeping, the wife will walk through the room. Fuck, he's talking to himself in his sleep. Because bitch doesn't see I'm talking to gods. See, this is where the haha is. She thinks I'm talking or going through scenarios in my head. I'm going through scenarios, but I'm also talking to 50 fucking gods at once.
Yeah.
But anywho, through the Christian, well, the true Christian, the LDS Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints thing is you, me, all angels including Jesus, because technically we were made by God the Father, not Jesus, Jehovah, Jesus,
Yeah.
which Jehovah and Jesus aren't his real name. That's just the translation because they couldn't really write it in, I think it was Latin, so they, yeah. The stupidity of that fucking just hurts my head, and I'm tired of hearing how to fix it, but I don't want to say that name because then somebody's going to get pissed and try to kick me into the next existence. No, fuck off. I'm having fun in this. Well, not really having fun. I'm enjoying my ride.
Yeah.
I can't say it's fun, but at the same time, it's a hoot watching everybody else with their stupidity. So, I'm kind of having fun. But anywho, it's literally like your older brother, but he's so much older than you. It's like the older asshole cousin or the older cousin, but technically they're still your brother because your grandpa fucked your uncle's wife.
Yeah.
So technically, or your grandpa fucked your dad's ex-wife who married your uncle. So he's your cousin brother.
Yeah.
He's 30 years older than you. Because that's how old your dad, your uncle, your dad, and your aunt are.
Yeah.
But it's literally just an older brother going, "Good job, you finally figured it out, child." It's
Yep.
like me with Gociel. When I got kicked out and couldn't go good and like lift her up and get her head screwed on straight,
Yeah.
and like she said, the craziness with dumbass went down.
Yeah.
If I had been there, because I don't mind being the target. We've talked about this millions of times on here and off.
Yeah.
It's... her head would be screwed on so tight. The issue she has would be a hiccup, not a full trip, fall, broke my fucking knee again. Or trip, fall, fuck, I twisted my ankle.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be, fuck, goddamn wall. And keep going like I do.
Yeah.
You see me stumble all the time with the CMT.
Yeah.
She'd be more like I am. The slight stumble, correct yourself, pop a hip or knee or whatever is out of place back into place, or just stand up and get your whole body go
Mm-hmm.
and go.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
I think I went off subject.
A little bit, but it's fine. My brain, in my head.
But yeah, no.
Do you know what Loki was just doing?
The subject was the whole like uncle, cousin, brother thing.
Do you know what Loki was just doing?
Laughing
It's
his
a
ass off at
supreme
me.
smart ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I was
Slow
making
clap.
fun of him because you made a comment, he did that, so that's why I went into that, and he's like, yes, dumbass. Don't call me a dumbass, you know better, motherfucker. But that's neither here nor there.
The slow clap.
Well, it's just me trying to explain it to you from my awareness of it.
Mm-hmm.
From one, being raised up in the church, and two, outside knowledge, and me taking what I grew up knowing and was told by adults in the church before it was all like, we're not going to tell you till you're old enough to know this thing.
Yeah.
It's the, I already got the picture, all I needed to do was take the other piece and, hey look! The puzzle's way bigger than those fuckers said. I thought so.
Yeah.
That's all. Like I keep saying, this is what they want to show you. This is what the fucking is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I actually have been, I've been enjoying it a lot.
Oh, I bet.
It honestly, to someone who doesn't have that type of enlightenment, it may sound scary, it sound terrifying, and I can speak
most
to
people would
experience.
shit their
I can
pants.
speak to experience that yes, it was really weird, and I wasn't sure how to take it. I was like, what did I sign up for just now? And it was like,
I love when you brought it up to me first thing. I'm like, oh yeah, you're there.
yeah, like I was like going, the hell is happening right now? And he's like, oh, I know what's happening. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, I've been telling you this for a while, and I was like going, what did I sign up for? And then Loki's like, you know what you signed up for, and
Whether
then like,
you realize it or not, you said, yes, I have to process that information. Da 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 da. shit, I processed it. Fucking A!
Yeah, it was like I was that hero in the movies that gets dropped out of the plane after being like, this is my moment, I gotta do this. You guys have never let me, blah, 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 giant monologue type thing. And then the god goes,
Tyrese.
Yeah.
No, it's Tyrese in, I think it was 8? Where they're in the plane.
Yeah.
He's the only one that doesn't drive out. Oh, we took care of that.
Yeah.
You fuckers!
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're
It
talking
was
about,
like
right? Something like that.
Yeah, it was like a button got pressed. The floor below me
You thought you
opened.
were ready, and then shit.
Floor below me opened. I went, oh shit. And then like
yeah, it's the.
and then,
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. Too bad, bitch.
and then like and I got dropped into the abyss, and it was like sink or swim, bitch. And then like as I was flying down, I'm like going, oh shit, in slow motion, going, fuck, and then like fell, and then like all of a sudden nowhere as I was doing that, the radio started turning on, going, and then
but see,
started
you
hearing
realize
static and then
that
voices.
you're not actually falling. You're like, oh wait, I floated.
Yeah, no,
This is cool.
that's what happened. Like
Yes.
in my head, it was mind's eye. It was me falling. When in reality, it was me righting myself and then starting to fly a current. And then Loki was like, "You got this, buddy." And then as I'm floating through the current, he's sitting right in front of me, like going, like as he's like right in front of me, going backwards like this and going, "See, you got this. Keep going, keep going." And I'm just like going, "Shut up, Loki." And he's just like, "I'll be here all the time."
It's. By the way you're describing it, the first thing that pops into my head is it's like the Disney slow roll through,
Right.
and you have the guy standing there or sitting there at the front, looking at all the people, telling them about the stuff in this little fucking spooky cave. But it's not spooky because there's bright lights on in the movie.
Yep.
And
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and the interesting thing is that I'm actually seeing.
Think about this, what you went through and what you're going through. At the age of anywhere between, I think it was 6 to 12, in that 6-year range, in there,
Yeah, it happened.
just realization. And when I got old enough to tell everybody, fuck off, quit telling me, I already know all this shit, y'all are just repeating yourselves now in the church,
Yeah,
and to Russell, which he hated.
yeah,
He hated that shit. And I went and I looked and I'm like, okay, that fits in here. And I just started putting the puzzle together, even though I was aware it was, I'm missing certain points of view, and it was like, done. Within a year. Like, between the ages of 17 and 18. Or maybe it was 16 and 17. I literally went, looked at what I thought was reality, and went, oh yeah, no, that's how it fits together. Here's the puzzle. You're almost there.
yeah.
But
I'm
I
getting
did
there.
this way younger.
I've also
Like,
spent my entire life
2
since
decades back. Well,
second or
one
third
or two
grade,
decades back.
always wondering about multiple different gods, and then like never really being there. Like always knowing I was
'cause,
miss.
Nico always talks about it, and you're like, okay.
Right.
You're taking it in as like it's
It's starting to become more real.
the Marvel, or like it's just the mythos.
Okay, I was
like
just
we
talking
always
to.
talking to Judy about. She's like, well, you're Christian or church mythos. I'm like, see, you see it as a mythos, but that's like me calling yours a mythos. The funny part is, they're all reality.
She calls them all mythos. I
But
asked
I'm
her that.
saying, what everybody's, and we've discussed this. It's not a myth. This is reality. This is what the fuck's going on all the time, motherfuckers.
Right.
And I love that we're talking about it on here because you're telling your point of view, and it's enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. No,
I love you telling the story because the way you're brightening up energy wise, and your eyes are going, yes.
Yeah, it's because it's the fact
I'm
that
enjoying this.
because the fact that you know how Russell Brand keeps talking about spiritual reawakening. Like that's-
he's only on level like 5 out of 20.
yeah, but what I'm saying though is
But
he's always talking about it, and
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
yeah,
but
and growing up, I always have had a ram down my throat with
Yeah.
a frickin' ironclad fist that there was only one God and only ever going to be one God. But yet, for some reason in school, we're supposed to learn about the Egyptians and the Greeks and the this and the that. And the Egyptians came first, but yet for some reason everyone loves Jesus. And all this other stuff,
And they know ticks, but they're not
and
real
they'll connect,
gods
and all the dots and lines
Yep.
connect, but yet we're going to deny like 80% of the picture. And so like I spent like a lot of my life, knowing Star Wars as like the grand opus of
okay.
everything, and
I got you.
and then like now recently this last like while I'm just like going, I'm talking.
What's it been like 4 months now?
Yeah,
Last 4 months.
It's been a while, and like I'm like going, well, I definitely ain't talking to Tom Hiddleston because this ain't that Loki.
And it is definitely not the same voice. I like the guy, you said his name, Tom Hiddleston, that they picked to play Loki.
Yeah.
For the Marvel Universe. Now, what Loki actually looks like compared to that is, you fuckers ain't even close.
I also don't. Okay, so this morning I was thinking about it a lot because I was reflecting on some stuff that I had dreamed about recently. That
a drink. Yes.
That like Loki was showing me some shit
Like?
from Asgard and from some of the other realms, and it was weird. And he was showing me some stuff, and then like this morning I woke up and I started like talking to the wife about some of it, and then I told her out of nowhere, I'm like, I am actually starting to like not like how they did Infinity War and Endgame, and the wife's just like, wait, what? And I'm like, you remember how they
come to my side of the crazy.
You remember how the beginning of the movie starts with Loki getting killed, and she's like, yeah, and I'm like, he's a god, and she's like, yeah, and I'm like, and then what they did was they didn't bother to bring him back
properly.
The normies believe him to be dead. They literally downgraded him in power and made it to where, he's acknowledged as a puny little god, but yet they nerfed Hulk 2, turned him into a goddamn punchline, and then in an Endgame, Loki doesn't come back, and it's literally just this Comic-Con style fest of all the heroes coming back to go face off with each other, and yet Loki's a god, and he's
not there.
Where is he? Is he in Tartarus? Is he somewhere else? Like, where the fuck is he? And she's like, I don't know, it's just, Marvel. And I'm like, it's bullshit. Like, he's a god. Like, he should be coming back, and he should really
or if he can't
show
come
Thanos
back,
how small he is.
What dimension is he stuck in?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, which realm is he stuck in? Are the Russo brothers really so shitty as storytellers that they had to lower one to raise the other, which is what I keep complaining about with politics and stories and everything, is when you have to make one character smaller or downgrade them or depower them.
Put the
so you can,
it's left or right.
Yes,
it's like, can
so
we
you can
all
make,
be little right?
so you can make the other one look
Right.
bigger, and so therefore they also made his Black Force or whatever his team was with as Tony Stark called him, Squidward. They made him super puny too and made him depowered. And made Thanos look like this giant OP god that's kind of boring. The only reason why he even works as a character is because, one, the guy who plays him is Excelsior at acting and voice acting, but also because they wrote good dialogue for him. Otherwise, he would just be this overpowered purple guy that nobody cares about. And
he's the Titan that's never been
Yeah.
in the story. Because, see, and this is the issue I have with the TV shows and the movies.
yeah,
Nothing against they want to do the mythos this way because it fits in their stupid little universe.
yeah,
My issue is you're not keeping to the truth of what it is. But it fits because we want to go this way. But yet in the comic books they go deeper into it. But yet the MCU's like, no, we don't have the money to make that many movies and or TV shows now because Disney because Disney's actually losing like millions of dollars a year with their fucking streaming platform.
but
Because they're fucking stupid.
I officially said today that I was like, Endgame is kind of dumb as a movie. And then the wife's
Okay.
like, wait, what? And I'm like,
Iron
yeah,
Man,
it's kind of
Iron
dumb.
Man 2, Iron Man 3, and Hulk, Incredible Hulk, and that's about it. The rest of
I
it's
was
kind of half-shot bullshit, because no offense, Thor's not supposed to be built like a motherfucker. He's supposed to be built like a motherfucker and fat because all he does
Yeah, he's
is
supposed to have a pot belly
be a
and be
complete
strong.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
He should be what they showed in... What was the one before Endgame? When he was
Infinity
fucking
War.
fat.
Infinity War.
Yeah. When he was fat.
Yeah.
At the end of Infinity War or at the beginning of Endgame, whichever it was, before he decided to work out or whatever.
Yeah.
Before the next movie.
Yeah.
That is who he,
again.
that is how he is all the time, except for his belly doesn't come out like that because it's like me with the belly. It's there.
Yeah.
It's built like a fucking goddamn tank, but I got a little bit of cushion.
Yeah.
More cushion for her pushing.
Yeah. I felt like I told the wife, I'm like, you know what should have happened in that final battle? I know it was cute having Iron Man do the snap and all that stuff, and the movies perspective, Iron Man came first in the lineup of
That's why they
timeline.
killed
Aside
him.
from Incredible Hulk, Iron Man came first, and therefore they did the whole story that way. And she's like, I'm like, but you know how they really should have done it? And she's like, what? I'm like, they should have had it to where Loki helps Iron Man lay the virtual massive smackdown on Thanos' candy ass, using the Rock's wording, and just wrecks him. Comes back, wrecks him, gets his redemption. Hulk helps, and you got this giant team up of just all these what look like gods destroying
the funny
him.
part is, you killed Loki. Are you sure you killed Loki? You know how many times he's gone,
Right.
stupid.
Exactly, and then people in the normies get all offended that he keeps coming back, and I'm like, have you forgotten that he's a god? You don't fully die.
The only thing that can kill a god, and that's only kill their physical form, because even if you kill the physical form, they are an ethereal being, so technically you can't kill them because they literally 90% of the time live in spiritual / energy form. So you don't see them.
Yeah.
That's like the Christian God or Muslim, whatever, or Judaic, whichever one of those three, because they all worship the same asshole, even though they call them three different names. Fucking dumbasses. Anywho, but it's literally, if we're all gonna say he's top dick, top dad, whatever the fucking acronym or thing you want to put on to make the other guys look tiny or whatever, it's like he literally in the Bible, while telling Moses to write it down, tells them, I didn't tell you could worship the other gods. I said I'm the only one you're allowed to worship, bitch. He literally admits they're there.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the MCU and all this stuff, you killed Loki. He couldn't kill Loki. All he did was delete.
You choked out his...
He literally
You got his...
turned off the power source to his physical form, which means Loki should be able to ethereal, put himself back together and say, bitch, you thought I was dead? You stupid fucking mortal.
That or just
And
say
could
that
have
was
killed Thanos that way.
Yeah, or just come out of Asgard and be like, you killed one of my mortal forms. Here's another. And then just show up again.
Yeah. I mean, they could have written it a million different ways. There's...
The Russo brothers didn't know how to handle gods.
No. That's just like Thor being a Marvel superhero is kind of stupid because he's a god. Are you fucking serious?
That's why some people hated Thor: Love and Thunder, and yet I loved it.
It was a decent movie.
I loved it.
I liked the way it did it. The funny part for me was literally Zeus throwing a lightning bolt to the thunder god, who is literally the same thing as a lightning bolt's the same thing as thunder. The only difference between thunder and lightning is thunder's in the cloud, lightning's outside of the clouds. It's the same fucking bolt.
And what's funny is some people were
And
criticizing
Thor grabbed it and threw it and killed Zeus. Of course, technically can't kill Zeus even though you're using his own weapon. Yeah.
But like,
I like that they showed that at the end. That
Yeah.
not really good, bitch.
Yeah, no, he brushes himself off, and as soon as I got to that part, and Cass is like, "Is he dead?" And I'm like, "No." And then he's like, "Wait, is he gonna be after the movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they're gonna show an end credit scene where Zeus is gonna brush himself off, and he'll be like, he didn't kill me." And so by the time the end credit scene happened, I'm like, "There we go, Zeus is back." And then Ember's just like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Oh, Zeus didn't die." And she's like, "Well, yeah, he's a god." And I'm like going, "Yeah, but they actually showed that."
Well, yet they killed Loki. Are you sure about that, man? Are y'all stupid?
Yeah.
You're gonna kill one, but yet in the next fucking Thor movie, haha, you can't kill me. I am a god.
Yeah, because they'll eventually reform anyway. And I was,
Ah, bitch!
so I was like sitting there going, I was in there like watching this
that's
movie.
the stupidity of it. But here's the other thing: if you take in the Loki TV show with the whole like time
Season
blah
2 is dropping
blah
soon.
bullshit, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Oh no, because I'm not gonna pay for a subscription. Do I have to wait to watch it?
You could create a new email and then like do a trial when the whole show's aired.
If it's all up when it's done all airing, maybe.
Yeah.
I got a 50-50 on that one. But the thing is, I think this is how, because a lot of people, like me, and now like you realizing it, that you can't kill a god, motherfucker. They literally had to pull him out of time, so him dying is not actually him dying because he exists outside of time and dimension.
I also found it weird that they did
With
that too.
that fucking TV series. This is the loophole that they made. So technically he didn't die, just that version got turned off.
Right, which makes no sense to me. 'Cause he's a god.
Loki from the same universe though already exists. That's why that entity, physical form, could look dead because he already knows everything that's going to happen because he saw his whole history, so he has all the memories of Loki. Because once seeing it in the first season, everything that happened to him, including his death, he knows what's going to happen. And because he saw it, he can visualize it as if it had happened to him, even though technically it didn't.
Yeah.
Because that's the God level awareness of reality, consciousness, and living in the everywhere from the 3rd to 10th dimension and everything in between for shits and giggles and getting
Yes.
laid on the weekends, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's see, and you guys are hearing us talk about this type of stuff with Loki and can't kill a god and that sort of thing. Yes, I do believe that you cannot kill the Christian god either. I believe that
You can't kill anything that calls itself a god because anything that is a god level power that, or that
They'll
we would
eventually reform
consider a
later
god level
anyway.
power is too powerful for us to kill because we don't have enough power to do it. Now, if you are able to realize yourself and exalt yourself to the proper level, you could kill a god because you'd be the equivalent level, although then that means the Christian god will come kick you in the nuts and tell you, shut up, be a good kid, sit down, bitch.
and they'll just reform anyway. So if anybody becomes a god, you'll eventually reform anyway. You'll get enough energy
that's why
exalted to come back.
That's the only issue I had with Supernatural.
Well, that I believe
often
that's
gods in that one.
season 16, if they had ever made one, I believe would have come down to Chuck and Jack facing off in the next season, because it would have shown that Chuck would have come back to power anyway.
No,
Even
I think it would
I
have
am
been
still God.
Chuck attempting to coming back to power because his energy is in everything and he literally blinked and made everything exist.
Yeah.
It's the
Well, Dean and Sam are human, so they can't actually see godly power really. So when Dean's like, "You're a normal human now. You can get sick and you can die," that's literally Dean's limited third-person narrator that's unreliable
not even third person,
and
third
can't see it.
third dimensional
Yeah.
blindness.
Yeah, like he can't see the fact that Chuck would come back to power anyway. And Chuck has already said that him and his sister, back in previous season, in fact it was season 11, that him and his sister, Amara, had duked it out, and that she had, reduced him down to that point. And then he did it to her, where he reduced her to that point, and they both kept coming back, and the mortals
It's
around
the
them
yin
kept
and
suffering.
yang.
And the mortals around them just kept
Can't
suffering
kill something
because
that is infinite.
they were having godly sibling power fights.
Yeah,
And they kept reducing each other to ash.
that's literally the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Or what is considered the I think it's Hinduism
I think
from
it is.
India.
Yeah.
The swastika because the Nazis turned it
Yeah,
on
then
its
they
side,
turned it
but
sideways.
the
It's supposed to
proper
be
one
peace.
is literally it's the Hindu yin
Yeah.
and yang
Yeah, it's supposed to mean peace, not war.
because it's literally you take it apart and you have the exact same pieces.
Yeah.
Whether you take it apart this way or this way,
Yeah.
diagonal or just take the
You know,
cross apart.
you know, I also know would come back in season 16 if they were to make one. Amara herself. It would come down to Jack versus Chuck and Amara in a three-way
No,
match.
see, the thing that would happen is Amara, Chuck, and Jack would be there, And Jack and Amara would look at each other and go, "So we're just gonna delete him, right?" Because two gods can kill another god. That's like humans kill humans. Humans kill animals. Because they're three-dimensional creatures deleting a three-dimensional creature. But technically, you are only deleting the three-dimensional creature. You're not deleting the four-dimensional
But you know what? You know what Jack could do at that point?
consciousness.
That Chuck and Amara would never have done?
I think they put him in a cage like he put Lucifer in a cage.
Well, Jack would probably end up making it to where Sam and Dean are officially either gods or a step below gods. Like a step
It's the
above
archangel
a
thing,
step
yeah.
above archangels, yeah. Because they would be his they were essentially his parents. And so he would essentially upgrade them and be like, "Well, you already died, you already lived your life, you're now in heaven, so okay, now you're near God."
But
Help me
well,
against
the
Chuck.
part I liked is at the end, Dean was talking to
Bobby.
Bobby, and it's like, oh no, he fixed heaven. Now it's how it was always written about, and how it was supposed to be from the original. Before Chuck got pissed and said, "Well, fine, fuck you fuckers. Have your own personal jail cells in heaven, just like having your own personal jail cell in hell."
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. That to me goes, and he went off to do other things. He literally fixed the system and then left.
Yep.
But my thing is, he literally left to do what God does.
Yeah.
You create more realities, more existences. You create the multiverse again. He's literally restarting the multiverse.
Well,
That's
what
why
he implies
the
that
Winchester
Yeah.
TV series happens, because it says that Dean's in an alternate universe, which means literally
and Jack was there.
Jack is literally undoing what Chuck did.
Yep.
So even if Chuck and Amara come back, he's literally fixed everything Chuck does. So, and because Chuck's not the one who created it, technically Chuck can't delete it because Jack's equivalent or more powerful than God, because God got kicked and punched around so much, Jack absorbed his origin power.
That's one thing I
So
like
Chuck
about his character.
can no longer be the origin of everything, because now Jack is the origin of everything, because he
Technically-
absorbed all the origin power
Yeah, because technically, if
from Mara and
yeah,
Chuck.
because technically, with the way they wrote it, with Jack being the son of Lucifer, technically, you know,
An
biologically,
LOM.
yeah,
Or
he
no,
was a Nephilim.
Nephilim. That
Yeah,
was the word I was
with him
looking
being
for.
with him being
Brain.
the son of Lucifer.
Why are you
technically.
telling me to say
being-
God's name? Fuck off, leave me alone, people. We're trying to discuss other shit.
And the Nephilim basically absorbing, like he was a special kind of Nephilim because he was able to absorb all the blows.
in the Book of Enoch, the Nephilims are the Nephilims are the giants. Which is the reason that God, in the Book of Enoch, did the flood with Noah.
Okay.
And Noah, and I didn't find this out, even though we never talked about it when I was a kid. But I mean, we talked about everything else, multi-dimensional, freaking all the other shit,
Yeah.
growing up in the church. But yet something I found out, and this was like a year or two ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Apparently, Gabriel is Noah.
That's what you were saying before.
Yeah, and I'd never heard that. Ever. I was like, how much of this shit have I not been told, or how much of this shit has been talked about since I left the church? Like,
That'd be so interesting if they
I
adapted
left
that
the
into
church,
Supernatural, too.
and then they're like, oh yeah, we forgot to tell you this.
That'd be
Yes,
so interesting
Michael's
if, like,
Adam, but we forgot to tell everybody, Gabriel's Noah.
yeah.
And then my thought is, then who the fuck is Joseph Smith? Which archangel's that bitch? No, because for my brain, the one that has to bring the church back, spirit, has to be an archangel or an angel. So which angel or archangel, since we have a list of it in the Book of Enoch and in a couple other books too in the Bible, or in the, what was it, Nakratha scriptures, the ones that didn't put in the Holy Bible, which
Yeah.
isn't even holy, it's just a Bible, it's a book. Which one of those angels or archangels is he, or was he, before he had his mortal existence? And how many others were like the archangels or angels that have been born that are prophets, or how many are how many aren't, and how many are that nobody tells us about? Because my first thought is, what if the last prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is actually an archangel born in human form, and he's like Adam and Noah. They don't remember the archangel part of the existence until after they die as immortal.
I believe that, actually.
Because that
I see
prophet
that.
would be the one who spoke. That prophet being an archangel would be the one that would need, or in my opinion, would need to be an archangel pre-mortal existence for Jesus to come back.
You said Gabriel was Noah, apparently.
Michael was Adam, Gabriel was Noah. Those are the only two they ever talk about
Huh.
in religious. Because after they brought that up in one of the like little things, I went and I like looked. Okay, do we know if any other archangels are like prophets from the Old New Testament? Peter?
Ezekiel?
No, none. They don't mention it. And you know who usually brings it up and somebody fixes it? The biggest fucking Lucifer church of all.
Oh, the Catholicism?
The Catholic bitches. They're the ones that say, oh yeah, by the way, it's this. It's like, why are we just finding out about this? Or what idiot didn't tell us this beforehand? And why don't we already know this? Or did we know this and just nobody talks about it?
Yeah.
Because I get that from every church and in every damn direction. It pisses me the fuck off. That's what they do. They don't tell you shit. I'm 40 years old, and, or well, at the time I was 39. But it's like I'm hearing this shit and I'm like, why is it I have to come back to the church to find this shit out? Why wasn't this shit part of... No offense, the randomness that I always heard as a kid from all the adults talking, and then I asked the million and one questions.
Yeah.
Which also, I think, melted a couple adults' brains into their ears, because they're like, he's asking questions that are so exalted, I don't know the answer.
Oh, so it's kind of like Cass. So my
You
my
literally
middle
said
child
he
is...
quite literally is exactly like me on a lot of things.
Yeah.
He is the next
Castiel,
me.
yeah, Castiel literally
It's
is
me,
embodying...
Nephi, Cass. It's
Yeah.
a genetic thing.
Well, he's also like me, because I asked those same
And
questions.
you're just like me too.
Yeah. Like,
It's a weird...
Castiel keeps asking about God, too.
And then you just say, which one?
Yeah, that's literally what I asked him. I'm like, which one? And he's like, there's more gods? I'm like, there's tons of gods, buddy. Which one do you want? Specific.
Are you talking about the God that made all gods?
I was like, and then he asked me, he's like, well, wasn't I named after an angel? And I'm like, yeah, you were. You were named after a seraphim angel named Castiel from So Supernatural, which actually is inspired by Castiel, a different angel.
Castiel is an actual angel, not an archangel, but he's an angel.
Well, I thought it
It's
was off of
from,
Castiel or something like that. His name
no.
was different.
He's not one of the fallen angels. He's one of the. I think he's the angel that went back to LOM to tell him, oh yeah, by the way, all my brothers and sisters are fucking. Well, all my brothers are fucking humans.
Ah, okay, so he's that type of angel. The
I
messenger?
think he was that angel, or he was one that was here that wasn't having intercourse with the human women, but because he was here and didn't go back and tell God, God basically cocked him in the nuts and said, you fucking bitch. You're
Yeah.
supposed to come tell me this shit. You're fucking a watcher just like them, but you're the one who's supposed to report to me. They said they'd kill me. Who's the most powerful entity in existence? You are. Bitch. He's literally... He's what I would consider, brain. Anubis, and the other one,
The ones that are at the underworld?
yeah, he's the one who, if I remember correctly, he's the one who didn't tell. If he's the one that didn't tell, this is what I'm bringing. From I'm looking at all the facts. That there's so much to know. You can ask both me for clarification because right now I'm getting 500 different signals. Kind of hard, but anywho.
I know from experience
Castiel,
now.
Or the other guy who stayed and didn't rat out the rest, or was on the way back to rat him out before God was, what the fuck are you fuckers doing? You're supposed to report like last week, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or 5 minutes ago, from God's point of view in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing of, because he didn't have sex, he was the one who was put in charge of basically hell level 1 or death level 1.
Yeah.
Which isn't even really hell technically, because the underworld isn't hell. That's just the description that most people, especially in the Catholic Church, give a description of hell. It's molten,
Yeah, molten fire.
molten rock and blah 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 blah. It's like, that's literally the inside of the earth or the sun. Pick fucking poison. Which one's actually hell? Oh, and for clarification, technically that's not the real hell. Which is where I like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because it says in the scriptures that he literally kicked Lucifer into the outer darkness, which is so far out that there is no light.
Mm.
Which means hell cannot have molten rock and fire because it's so far out, it's so dark. It's literally not a flaming hot desert. It's literally Utah, a freezing desert,
Yeah.
because there's no light anywhere.
Yeah.
At least that's where my brain goes from everything I know and from what I've absorbed and overcomplicating it, mathematically calculating it through physics that, no offense, they don't have any clue on how to calculate these fucking
Yeah.
small brain people. No, see, the physicists, with the way they're teaching physics, or have always taught physics up into the last 15 years, because that's when they started going this whole woke shit, and trying to turn college into political bullshit and propaganda, and we're going to indoctrinate you, is, like we've talked about, level 1, but it's like, but it's not even real physics, because that's not how it works. Because you're only looking at it from your point of view, you're not looking or diving deep enough into what actually controls everything. Because if that's how everything worked, there is no God. This thing's just a giant from the universe.
Yeah.
Which I call bullshit too.
That's
Because
what I
somebody
call
had to
bullshit,
go, bink, to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But which also means if he made it happen, and from, I learned this, Kolab is the planet where God lives, or the Kolab is the closest star to the planet where God is currently sitting and existing, watching reality, basically watching the TV show that is this planet.
So you think he's in space somewhere?
It's that way or that way? 1,500,000 light years or 1,000,000 light years?
Hmm.
So far out, you couldn't even see it, even if you had the most powerful telescope
Yeah.
in existence currently, including all the stupid ones that are floating around the planet or flying out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Hmm.
Our technology is too tiny and too
For some reason, my
caveman
brain.
to.
For some reason, for the longest time, you know what my brain thought God might have been? You know that cloud in Lion King that like Mufasa
I like
used to
that,
like
nice.
talk to Simba? That's what I assumed he might have been. Was
Well-
just this talking angry cloud.
You said force, right?
Yeah.
You like to call force.
I call it the Force. Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. That is right. And, well, no, that's just right.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the ethereal thing.
Yeah.
Here, but not here. He's the force who can manifest itself into physical form.
Yeah.
And does he usually live in his physical form? Yes. To spend time with his children and wife, who are ethereal also.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Which him being, as we've said, a god, that also means
it would be
that if it's
like
a living force.
the grandpa god, basically a greater god.
Yeah, it would mean that he could do whatever he wanted with dimensions and that sort of thing, and our human brains can't really comprehend it.
The scale of the comprehension of, no offense, the current brain and most of the people who were raised and came up in the 90s, who were not shown things by lunatics like me from the 80s who actually had the awareness of reality itself,
Yeah.
who couldn't teach their little siblings and don't teach their kids this stuff, because no offense, I don't want to blow Connor's brain. I don't want his brain to come leaking out of his ears.
Yeah.
Although I think he's starting to tap into what I've been tapped into forever, because some of the stuff he says and some of the... Yeah, no, he knows, because he's heard some of the conversations we've had,
Yeah.
and he's just like, yeah, that's what I thought. Or, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear it in the back seat, whether he realized it or not. It's like, okay, you are there. You're 13. You were literally coming to or already had this revelation when you were younger. That's why you're like, fuck the church. These fucking damn idiots are the closest to 100%, but they're still fucking 1,000 years behind. And I'm like, it's right where I was at that age, because, God, you fuckers are so slow.
Yeah.
And I finally came back to the church, I'm like, you assholes should have been here when I was fucking 12.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand where he's at. That's why I'm not pushing him towards church. He'll come back around when he's supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push him towards or away from. It'll happen when it happens. And because of the way my brain and me growing up went through it, he'll hit it by the time he's 25, 30. Or he won't hit it at all. And then realization will hit, and then he'll be like, oh my god, my dad's not a complete idiot. He's actually a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Where my dad, it's, no, he's an idiot because he literally fell and broke his head open, so he has no choice. He's a spiritual, physical dumbass who's only good with technology he knows and is taught to use because of his age. That's where he's stuck. He's stuck. He can't go too technologically forward without somebody else showing him, or I'm looking up videos on YouTube on how to do it. Yet, he's intelligent enough to do certain things.
Yeah, but he also needs to learn certain things about...
But that's the issue with the broken brain. He's 60 years old. You can't teach me anything. I've lived a full life. You have not a clue, dude. You've only tapped into like an eighth, maybe a 16th, between a 16th and an eighth worth of actual like awareness of reality. Dude, you're like barely touching the tip of the fucking dick. Shut up.
Yeah.
Or iceberg, whatever the hell, or sewing needle.
He's trying to tell
however you want to.
Yeah, he's all like, dude, he's like, alright, you're just trying to live here until the kids are in college, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Not even close.
I say, you know what? I'm not trying to. That's just how it looks, because guess what? Jesus is gonna come back. You're gonna look like a giant asshole. Go straight to hell or whichever freaking kingdom you think is as close to hell without actually going to hell because you believe in God. You never denied it. Or Jesus. So, you quite literally are afraid of going there, but what you don't realize is you literally are pushing yourself there. Stop talking to me about what I'm doing. I have no choice because actually I saw this video and I actually looked up some stuff through the knowledge I have in here from what I've learned over the years. We are actually 10 times, no, 50 times worse off than they were in the Great Depression because of inflation and how much $100 then equals to now, and how much cost to live, how much of it comes out of our actual budget. Back then it was 10%, now it's 50%.
Yeah.
So we're worse off than they were in the Depression.
I've heard that from economists.
For
as well.
him, it would. I mean, you could literally tell him, it's not what I want to do. I don't have a choice because of the current idiot and the current stupidity of the money, the nation, and the world.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't understand and keeps trying to blame you, no offense, I can only work as many hours as I can work and only work as hard as I can. It's not my fault. The system has screwed me and stuck me to live in your house with you. If I had my choice, I'd have my own house and I wouldn't be here. And then you could just do whatever the hell you want. We would not be in your hair. We would not be in your way. Even though technically we're not in your way. We're just in your hair and you don't make us in your hair.
I literally have told him that too. I was like, if I had all the, I told him like, if I had all the money in the world and everything like that,
You need like
I wouldn't even be here.
$2 million.
Well,
$1 million to cover costs and $1 million to sit in the bank to just roll over the
well,
interest.
and I asked him, I asked him one of the days that he was starting to scream and yell, which is hard to logic with him when he's like that. But like, I asked him I'm like, do you think that I wanted to leave that apartment complex? And he's like, well, no. And I'm like, because I didn't. I'm like, I was going to live there for at least 2 or 3 more years if that's what it took to own a house. I'm like, I didn't purposely leave that place. In fact, I was trying to keep it intact, and your oldest son, Karnage, knows that that's what I was trying to do. And
I even helped a few times.
And there was quite a few times where he came over to help us out and everything like that. And was even giving me ideas on how to take care of some stuff. And I'm like, I didn't purposely leave that place.
So close to just sliding through for another 2-3 years.
Yeah, I was even talking to Costello about that, about sliding through a couple more years. And then the shit that happened, and now we're here. And
you got fucked out of a job by stupid assholes.
Yeah, and among
who are
other
only
things.
concerned about their wallet.
Yeah, among other things. And then he was
that was the biggest one from what I saw.
Yeah, and then he was like blaming me for like a bunch of other shit, and I'm like,
that's you, not me.
You're blaming me for stuff that's beyond out of my control, and you're blaming me for stuff that I have no effect over. And your oldest son has been teaching me how to only take accountability for things that I actually have control over, and that stuff that's out of my control is definitely out of my control, and I should not guilt myself or shame myself.
Well, that happened.
anything.
I wish I could have fucking seen that coming because I'd have fixed that before it happened.
Right.
I gotta deal with it. Keep moving.
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff.
And I literally explained some of that to him, and he wasn't getting it. He just wasn't. He was not computing it.
The wires are not connected. That's where the short is.
Yeah, and he was
still your fucking.
Yeah.
It's not my fault because I can't control. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, stop screaming "fuck you" at me. Rewire your fucking brain.
Yeah, and I was like trying to explain to him like the fact that I'm like if I had
to a 2-year-old.
if I had the money for it, I would be in a different place. Like I would not be here, especially after the way this last year's
that's where I jump. If I can make $60 tomorrow, I'm literally jumping. University.
Oh yeah.
I'm jumping. Because if I can make $2 to $3 grand a month, I'm going full jackass. You know I will too.
Yeah.
I'll just. And I will rail it so hard, so fast, it'll be. The fuck happened? Shut up! I paid off the house and the car. Go fuck yourself. Here's $5 grand. Go pay bills. I gotta do shit.
You may even just toss me $50 and be like, all right, go do your thing.
They'll be like, let's see, how much do I have? I'll give you 100 in a week. Alright, here's 100 grand. Shut up. I was like, where are you always at my house? Because you have internet and The wife blocks mine so I can sit here and make money. But you're over at my house so that we can make money? Yeah. I'm almost at $5 billion. Hang on. Alright, I'm at $5 billion. Okay. Sell, cash out. Okay, I don't ever have to work a day in my life.
At that
Money
point,
to account.
At that point, like, we both end up getting 2 other different safe houses and just, like, kind of go from there.
I mean, if I got $5 billion, I've paid off my house, paid off my car, and the 3 houses I've seen in the neighborhood that are up for sale, I bought all 3 of them and be like, which one did you want, Thomas? $500,000, you can pick one, just pick one.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and here's $200,000. Go buy yourself fucking 2 decent cars. I gotta go get me a car next week.
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah.
Dude, if I can make, and you know, because this is the way my brain thinks, $1 million, no, $1 billion, or quadrillion dollars technically. It's just go at it, and be like, hey, United States of America, what? Okay, I'm online, y'all see me? Okay, everybody here for the live stream? Alright, cool. Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to go take over, DC, because I have enough money to pay off the debt and still have fucking $6 trillion in my bank account. Let's go fucking kick everybody out. Go talk to all the countries, fix this shit, and take this fucker back over.
Yep. Like, deficit's paid off now. Wait, what? That wasn't going to be paid off for another, like, 200 years. It's paid off now.
No, it's paid off, and it literally said, no more of this. Yeah, well, we're just going to let the system run and completely fuck us. No. Yeah, we know now on Canada, Mexico, and all of South America, and all of Canada is a giant factory to make everything for everybody in the world. We are now the richest country in existence. Country? That's like fucking 2 continents. 2.5.
It's an empire. Deal with it.
It's not even an empire. It's like we are 2.5 continents, and guess what? Everybody has to buy everything from us because we're not only the cheapest labor. Everybody also gets $2,000 a month. Shut up. Keep doing your job. You're not getting a paycheck from your job anymore, but you're gonna keep doing your job, but you don't get your $2,000 a month. Have fun, live life, love you, have a wonderful day. That fucker just tell me I love you? Yes, because I love everybody. Because technically we're all family. Because we all come, if you go far enough back, from the same set of balls. So fuck you. I love you. You're still an asshole. Bye. The hell happened?
Right.
This lunatic took over. What did he do? He signed up for that tape fucking thing, made a whole fucking boatload of money, then told everybody fuck off, and just took out. He bought everything and everybody out, and named himself the new Jesus for fucking America. Jesus. He said, close enough. Because you know that's exactly how I play it. Close enough.
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you even like try to say, "Oh, you're canceled," you realize that you are gonna make him a giant messiah, right?
You're gonna cancel me like you canceled Tate? Oh. Thank you for making me the biggest dick on the internet. Fuck you.
Because anytime you do that, you make someone a messiah.
Right? That's literally what they did to Tate. And
Yeah.
now he's like the biggest, most badass online.
Yeah,
It's
all
like,
he's ever seen anywhere is Top G. He's the new messiah. You've turned him in. You tried to shoot him down, and now he's even bigger than he was before.
oh yeah, no. Okay, I'll start what he started to do now. I would never kill myself. Figured you'd like that joke. I mean, it's the truth,
Yeah,
but
like,
you know, might as well throw in the joke.
8 fucking interviews, like every intermittently, he'd be like, "I'd never kill myself."
No, but what the thing you did today, the emergency, his live broadcast, he literally was. I know because I think he watches the podcast.
Yeah.
Or checks on it. Because I made a comment about how I say everything he says. He literally made a comment today on the thing. Well, yeah, but all those guys who say they make, or they say or think exactly like me, well, who's broke and who's not? Fuck you, fucker. Fine, I'm going to sign up on university and I'm going to become richer than you. Let's do this.
Be funny as if he actually said, "Bring it."
Well, if he broadcasts tomorrow, I'm literally just going to sit there, hit it, let it play. And if he says, hey, for that asshole who said, one, I'm going to laugh my ass off because I'm also on the email list.
Yeah.
And two,
I'm also on the email list.
it's funny as fuck. Well, did you see the bottom of, I think it was yesterday's email, or the day before? If you're on an iPhone, an Apple phone, please reply to tell us if you still want to receive these emails.
Oh, I didn't
So,
know that one yet.
I'm guessing that they were having some issue, or unless you say, yes, I want to receive the emails, they were going to stop.
Ah.
And I said, well, of course. And it literally says from iPhone. I left it on there so that way they knew.
Yeah.
So it's from the Apple phone.
Yeah.
Yes, motherfucker. I like reading this stuff. It's really, good for the brain.
Yeah.
Because there's one that came out today. It was really long. So I didn't get to read the entire thing.
Yeah.
I skimmed over 90% of it. But I got the message, so
Yes.
I gotta, tomorrow morning, when I wake up, whenever the fuck I wake up, or if I go to sleep tonight, I'm literally gonna end up probably going home and reading the fucking thing. I already know.
They're like, what, 1,500 words, 2,000 words, usually?
No,
They're about
some
that
of them
length.
are short and sweet, and some of them are holy shit long.
Yeah, no, I know that.
And because I have an issue with reading books, that's why
Yeah.
I like audiobooks.
Yep.
Some of them, like, okay, I just gotta try to do the, if you read slow, read the first sentence and the last sentence of every paragraph.
Yeah.
But on some of them, it's just one sentence, so it's like, okay, read. It's like 5 or 6 one sentence in a row. I'm like, okay, read. Skip all the way to the bottom of the the one sentence paragraphs, 5 in a row. Read. Because, I read slow.
Yeah.
I know I read slow. That's my only issue. Comprehension is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, there's no way to finite it, or a way to measure it to a finite number, because the speed of my reading always slows down my score.
Yeah.
Or the speed of me reading and then writing your stupid essay for how smart you are slows me down. Other than that, yeah, just give me the stupid test. It's genius level on everything else. Fuck off, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Reading's where I have issues. And I know I have issues. And I don't care. My reading slow is not going to stop me from becoming a badass and making myself a millionaire and teaching my son how to make himself a millionaire. Because he's 13. If next year they literally give him a laptop or give him my old computer because I bought a new one to start making a buttload of money, then literally he can make a buttload of money.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if I'm making $2,000 a month, $1,000 of that's for freaking literally the house payment and shit.
Yeah.
Until I can save up enough where I can just pay off the car and the house. But the other, if I can make $2,000 a month, then literally I can give $1,000 to the wife, tell her fuck off, or $800 to her, because I gotta keep, $750 to her, because I gotta keep $250 in my account for the insurances that come out of my account. And then I just take the other $1,000 and I'm literally just using that to buy and pay for 50 of it for the membership to keep it going, so that way I can learn more stuff, especially with AI and whatnot, to make money. And the other one to basically do what you were trying to do before money became too tight and you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The Verizon, an extra modem.
Mm-hmm.
For me and Connor to have internet all the time, so that way he can come home from school, do his stupid schoolwork if he wants, or do it so that way he keeps his high grades so his mom doesn't cry, bitch.
Yeah.
while he's literally making hundreds of thousands of dollars also.
Yeah,
If I'm bringing in like freaking $2 to $3 grand a month, and I get him a computer, and because I have the $2 grand,
Yeah.
I can pay for the Verizon or whatever internet modem it was, and have mine and Connor's computer on that.
Still have mine. It's in
And then
there.
he can. I mean, but I'm saying that's what I would do.
Yeah.
If I'm making $2 grand a month, throw $1 grand. Basically, put $1 grand in my account once a month
Yep.
on the first of the month, or right before the end of the month, and then just keep going.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about once I get my debt paid off with Verizon.
No, see, he even brought that up because somebody did a super chat
Yeah.
or paid chat, whatever, on Rumble and said, well, should I go for my business venture before or after I pay off my debt? Andrew Tate said this. That's the wrong way to think about it. And I agree with you. Don't worry about paying off your debt. Make the money. Then when you have enough money to pay your bills
Yeah.
and have extra, the extra pays off your debt.
That's the approach I was going to take. Is that I was going to, the extra was going to be used to take out the collection or take out the amount of money I would make
The
do a settlement.
loans or whatnot.
Yeah, I would do a settlement on that one debt, and that way I'm not paying the whole thing. I'm paying a percentage, and it's just.
Well, you
surplus.
make enough money, tell them fuck off. Here's your money. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's the surplus that's being used to take out part of the debt, but it's not actually a pat back to my credit score because I checked my credit score recently and checked things that are impacting it, and that's not one of them.
No,
Which is
see,
ironic.
the thing that's impacting me is I've maxed out all my credit cards. But here's the funny part: if I
That's
pay
mine,
off
it's
all
credit
of
card
my
usage.
credit cards,
Yeah.
see, you have to pay it off slowly. You can't pay it off one lump sum
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
because if you do that, that actually hinders your credit score and will drop it 100 to 200 points.
Yeah, because of the fact that they think that you're not actually able to commit to it. They think that you're just
Well, it
trying
looks
to.
bad for your credit because you're not
Yeah.
staying on a constant. But I mean, if I start making $2 grand a month, I'm literally gonna drop 100 on each 3 credit cards. And if I'm making $2 grand a week or a month, whatever,
Yeah.
I'll literally 300 of that will be for credit cards, and I just dump.
Yeah, that's
Dump,
what I was
dump,
going to start doing. Is
Dump.
it's going to start like because I'm saving up money to repair our van finally over the next
Well,
month.
I still got 300 I have to pay off on the fucking bank credit card because DoorDash fucked me. I haven't been able to save up the money this whole year.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen that. I mean, you've talked about it a million times.
It's 'cause
I've
the
been
inflation
completely
is-
flopped.
Yeah, inflation has just been gnarly this year, but like
It's all your fault, Biden.
yeah, no, it is. But
I'm
like,
bulletproof.
but yeah, no, it is. But like, when I'm thinking that if I can save up enough money over the course of the next like month to like get the van fixed,
Shut up,
to
Mike.
get things taken care of, then I'm gonna take that same exact strategy and try to get stuff paid off,
Oh yeah,
like the credit card usage and
Yeah.
other things,
I know what you're talking about.
and
'Cause
from there just kind of
That's
work
what
on
I
it.
was doing the first year in the group and DoorDash, and in the second year. I
Yeah,
literally got my credit cards almost paid down to zero.
yeah,
But some shit happened, not being able to DoorDash for a little while, and then because I was trying to spend time with my kids and actually be a good parent at Doxy,
hmm
I literally got fucked because there was like 3 things in 1 week because they didn't DoorDash enough. They put me like, man, you can only DoorDash when it's busy already.
yeah,
So I got fucked out of making my literally $900 a month, which is making more like $1,800, but 900 of that 1,800 was literally going into the gas tank. So I'm only making 900 a month.
yeah.
So I was literally getting fucked,
Mhm.
and it actually wasn't a full 900. 90% of the time was like 700, 800.
Yeah.
So I mean, the stupidity of it's like, fuck. And then I got in the accident, and then they told me to go fuck myself. You got the ticket. Well, of course, I'm making a left-hand turn. Making a left-hand turn. You're getting the ticket.
Yeah.
Even if the other guy says, "Oops, my bad. I'm sorry. I hit you. I wasn't paying attention." You both get tickets then.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, fuck off, asshole.
Yep.
Mm. my biggest irritation with DoorDash.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still shit, dude. I'm grinding like a motherfucker. I'm grandpa. But this whole year's been like clusterfuck.
This year's been like fucking an ornery 2-year-old
It's just a piece of shit year.
Yeah, during a giant temper tantrum, and we're all just
But I
trying
mean,
to climb through
it's
it.
also that's also part of numeronics.
Bidenomics,
No, the number.
numerology.
Not ology. Because the year that we became a country was 1776.
Yeah.
July 4th, blah blah. The numbers mean this year is a bad year for America. 23 is a bad year for America because of also what year when we became a country. This year, whatever the Chinese zodiac is the reverse of it, basically the negative
Yeah.
for that. So and one of the
32.
numeronics guys.
When you
One
flip
of
23
the main
32.
guys that when I look into it, this popped up. The guy who actually knows what the fuck he's talking about, because I've watched a lot of his long form and shorts.
Yeah.
But he literally said that that's also why 2008 happened, because that was the
Same thing.
same animal year.
When you flip the number, it goes from 08 to 80.
Well, no. It's Chinese zodiac. I'll show you.
Like, I remember 2008 being considered a really terrible year, financially speaking. My dad was always tight on money back then. Like, almost as tight as he was in 2005, 2006. It wasn't until, like, 2009, 2010 that he started actually getting better at it. Or at least started getting more luck. And things are starting to improve for him.
Yeah, see, it doesn't go back to 1776 on this thing. No, but because it's a rabbit year.
A rabbit year?
And 2008 was a rat year.
Okay.
These 2 years are, it's whichever one's on the opposite side. That was 1776. Those two are bad years, or those are going to be the bad years for the thing. It's the rat and the.
So then what's the 2024?
Yeah, because see, it was 2020 too.
Yeah.
And 2023, which is also 2011.
Huh.
So, a lot of shit went down those years.
Yeah, no, 2011, I remember that being a...
Giant clusterfuck.
Yeah. 2010 was the year that Amber and I met. It
And
was,
the next year was a giant.
yeah, 2010 was the year that her and I met, and that, you know, started dating and stuff, and then
Yeah.
a lot of stuff happened. And then 2011 was the year that her and I started both working at other places, or at least trying to work at other places. And I was working at Walmart and others, and then I was
I
like,
remember
jumping
that.
through jobs. Yeah, and then her and I, of course, you know, pronounced her love and all this other stuff, and so like I remember a lot of the good shit. I don't remember a lot of the bad shit.
Whoa! I'm saying for a country that was a bad year.
Yeah, no, country
Those
was
were bad years.
terrible year.
But those are probably good years because of the year you and her were born. You gotta look at it, and whatever the contrast year, or whatever the bad animal contrast is to your year, those years are gonna do bad.
Remember there was a guy or person that told me that years ago. That
I think it's GG Mnemonics on YouTube is the guy I'm talking about. But somebody was going.
Someone in real life once told me, and I think it was at a job that I was doing. I think it was at the Quantel or it was Convergys. That
Okay.
one of the guys that were there was telling me that every odd year is usually a bad year for him, and every even year is a good year for him. And that he would always prepare himself during the even year for the bad year.
That's not always. Or that might have to do with what his birthday numeronic.
Yeah, he said something about that.
Is.
Yeah, he said something about that in astrology and how it always seems to line up for him that the bad years are the odd years.
Because I looked it up. I remember showing it to you.
And that for other people he knew, it was the opposite. That the even years were the bad years for them, and the odd years were the good years for them. And I was like, how the fuck does that work? And he's just like, it just is. It just does. It just works that way. And he said that I would eventually get to the point where I would start seeing that myself. Because I didn't see it at all back then.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And now I'm starting to be
Okay,
like, maybe
yeah.
that's a thing.
I'm a 7.
Waiting
See,
for a
you
7.
are numeronics.
Oh. Well, I was born in 91, so...
Well, no. You were born the day after Nikki.
Yeah, 27.
You said 2000 what? 1? I mean 1991?
1991 was the year.
10, which you're a 0.
Oh,
I mean a 1. You're a 1.
a 1?
Yeah, you're a 1. Because it's 37 if you add up each number.
Yeah.
Because you have to add up each number. Month. And if it's a double digit day, you add up each number to the digit, and then 1, 9, and then whatever the other numbers are.
Yeah.
Which tells you which will give you usually a double digit number. Because we
Yeah.
were born in the 90s. And then you just add those two together, and yours makes a 10. So 1 plus 0 is 1.
Okay.
Your mnemonics is 1.
I am the
But
one.
also, you're 27,
Yeah.
which is actually a 9. Also, because 2 plus 7 is 9.
Huh.
So those are your 2 mnemonics. Mine is 7 and 12, which is a 3. And I like 3s, because, I mean, as you can tell,
Yeah.
triangles.
Yep.
Don't do that, arm. You did that yesterday, and I hit the fucking... I literally went to sit in my car, trying to relax for a second, get some fresh air, because my brain wouldn't turn off around midnight last night.
Yep.
Around now. So I went to go sit out in the car, and I sat back, and then I went to move forward and like lean out of the car because I wasn't getting enough air, and then bang,
Wow.
I tapped the horn. Done that like 3 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This arm has gone, horn. What the fuck? But usually when I do it, it's like this is all tense, and this is like super fucking tense.
Yeah.
The tricep and the bicep, it's like, ah! Jesus Christ, calm down, motherfucker.
My arms have been doing that too, a little bit.
I mean, because the veins are sticking out more in this arm than they have been in forever. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this arm finally, like, trying to show this arm off, like, fuck you, bitch.
Yep.
Sorry.
Flex. Flex.
Well, for me, it's the, let's see, where is it? Yeah, see the forearm.
Yeah.
Let me just rotate.
I actually
Oh,
noticed
man.
that Matt Rife, the comedian that's been making a massive rise, he's actually
Skinny, good-looking white fuck.
who is starting to look a little bit more built now.
Well, I mean, he's always been fit because he's been skinny as shit. So, but yeah, no, he's looking like he's actually working out more. And he was it Rogan? No, it was one of the other podcasts he did with.
Collaboration.
I don't remember whose podcast it was. It was Tom Segura or Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
One of them was talking to him. It was a short. I think it was Bert. But he was talking to him, and Bert's like, "Well, you look like fucking ripped now." Well, yeah, because everybody's calling me the like little cutie young comedian, even though I'm like this old, and I started when I was this old trying to do comedy.
Yeah.
And because I put up all my stuff now on TikTok and like YouTube Shorts, but I get most of my views from TikTok. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm like super famous and making money that way. Also, on top of doing the shows, everybody showing up. I became super popular. I love it. Kind of sucks I had to use social media for it because I was hoping people would love me just for my jokes, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm the pretty boy. He's like, and I think it was Burt Kreischer's made a comment about him banging all of his little side pieces that are always throwing stuff at him in the shorts. He's like, no. You got a girlfriend? Not currently. I had one. I don't know what this shit.
Yeah, like they.
But
the
he made a
jokes he
comment about
the
him.
grandma.
Yeah, he made. But Burt Kreischer said he was looking fit. He's like, yeah, I decided to start going to the gym. Because he started to put on a belly and stuff. And me, I'm only like 25 or 26, I think he said in the video.
Yeah.
He's like, I just like, okay, I'm getting a belly. I need to start working out on a regular basis. And then it's just like, just happened.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen that because you start going to the gym. It's like, sorry.
Yep.
Suck bitch. Because for me, just doing the little bit, just goofing off, I can feel it right here.
Oh yeah,
Just
no.
all my shoulders are just like,
I can start after that new regiment we've been doing now. After even like 1 or 2 days, I could feel like all my muscles in here just going.
Well, I'm still trying to do every once in a while when I remember anywhere between 100 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats to 1,000 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. Oh, I did that when Grubhub was like going slow today. I
Yeah.
literally just took like 10 minutes and 100 push-ups real quick on the bumper. Got
Yep.
back in the car, went back to reading my manga, and then I stopped, tapped for it to refresh. You have an order. Cool, nice. And just went.
Yeah, I need to start doing that myself. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups.
100 body squats too.
Yeah, my squats.
Cause you have stronger legs than I do, so it won't fuck with you like it fucks with me. But I mean that's kind of what has stiffened up my calves.
Yeah.
I mean not calves, thighs, brain.
It's late now. It's like almost 1 in the morning.
Yeah, fuck that shit. You want to end then?
I mean, you're starting to trail off, and it's been about 3.5 hours now. We are the champions because we go forever.
Oh, you know me. I'll find some random thing and I'll keep us going for 3 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And then
down
I'll
to
be
keep
like,
going.
I gotta go home. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go work out with friends. Go home, take a cold shower, wake up the kid. It's 4 o'clock. You said you wanted to work out. Come on. You want to swim or not? I'm up. Give me a minute.
Then he goes up to the pool. Thank you for shopping at Walmart.
Actually, no. He only does that when you're there because he wants you to laugh.
Yeah.
He's doing it for you. I've actually seen it, and he's like, he literally does it for you.
Yeah. Make me laugh and shit.
Oh yeah. Because the other day I had the earphone in, wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, well, I'm listening to a book, so I'm not going to be paying attention.
Yeah.
And I did my usual. Staring off into space.
Yeah.
Either listening to a book or just, I love you. Dad! Huh? Love you too. You know me. I
No.
am literally walking and stretching my shoulders for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And I just zone out. I disappear into the ether. Which isn't always a good thing. But that's always why I flip a bitch and make sure I look at the clock at least once every freaking 4 or 5 freaking things. What time is it? Okay, so I got this much time. Keep going.
Yeah.
So.
We've covered a lot of shit though in this last few hours. We always do.
I like how we're more randomly just going off of our lunacy in life.
Yeah.
And I like how you're opening up about how you've become with either my poke or just my lunacy being around my craziness that apparently everybody loves, which still throws me the fuck off. I don't know if I'll ever get used to that until I like. Actually, I know how I would get used to it, but that's a dirty dream for another weekend. But it's the lunacy of everybody likes who I am, and I'm like, okay, so people were just giving me shit when I was trying to be nice me, not real me.
I hear Luciana's pissed off.
I was just trying to listen and see if Amber was.
Yeah,
I hear Amber.
that's good.
Go steal.
Yeah,
So we're good.
yeah,
But I don't know. I like going over the spiritual stuff and becoming more exalted and aware of the true reality we live in.
yeah,
And I like where you're at, because I was there forever ago.
yeah,
So I like that because it's like, okay, you're moving forward, so that way we can keep going with the lunacy. I ain't got to slow down, I ain't got to wait. At first it was you always asking me about my spiritual views, and what about the gods, what about the, whenever I go, and then I remember when I was really starting to get back into the church, you're like, are you sure that's okay with like your viewpoint on the other gods? I'm like, oh yeah, no, it fits in. It does.
yeah. I was questioning it.
I remember that when I like dove straight back into church because of the, well, one, positive, and two, that's where I felt I needed to go.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny that you're like, oh my god, he's actually dumping in full fucking jackass on these lunatics in the church.
yeah,
Because I understand your viewpoint with, Dad and that whole stupidity.
yep,
That's annoying as hell.
yep,
And that's why I did what I did. It was half him, but it was also half McCory when he became the bishop. Oh, and I got quadruple confirmation that McCory's full of shit, a complete fucking asshole. And I hope you burn in hell. That's the only judgment. I hope he gets 1 fucking hour on this existence, which is 1,000 years in hell, burning. For him doing the crap he did to fucking go CL and the
Yeah.
shit he pulled on me. Because I told a guy who's as old as him,
yeah,
maybe a little bit younger, but I mean, he's an older gentleman. The guy I was telling you I was talking to.
yep,
And when I told him in 2001, he told me I had to have a diploma, GD, or go back and get my high school diploma. He went, so which proves that's like the 4th kind of slightly
Confirmation.
higher up or older guy I've talked to who's probably been a bishop or stake, because he's part of the stake presidency with the missionary thing.
yeah,
That's literally gave me the look like he fucking told you what.
yeah.
He's like the 4th or 5th guy now.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, no, that proves the point. I was not meant to stay in the church at that point because in Oklahoma I was literally being thrown under the fucking bus
Yeah.
by everybody inside and outside of the church.
McCory.
And when I
who is
moved
this
to
again?
McCory,
McCory.
yeah, Bishop McCory.
Okay. Someone that was from Oklahoma.
He's the asshole that Amber always talks about. That you've told me about.
Yeah.
The guy who was the bishop
Yeah.
who said those mean things to her.
Yeah, I told her she was a
McCory.
true piece of gum.
Yeah. Because by the way you described it, my brain instantly goes to him because he was a shitty doctor,
Yeah.
and because he tried to treat every issue or everything in the church as a bishop when he first became a bishop, like he was the ward's doctor and shut up, here's your prescription, do what the fuck you're told. Bye, get out of my office.
Yeah.
Like, at the doctor's appointment. Okay, I need to know this stuff. Okay, you're full of shit. Or, okay, here's where the issue is. Go do this. Or, shut up. Or, fine, here's stamp sign. Get the fuck out of my office.
Yeah, that's kind of how she described it.
Yeah. That's who the guy literally was. Because Mom, because he was a member of the church and a member of our ward, literally sent me to him to get, like, Claritin D samples for, like, that time of year stuff.
Yeah.
Like pollen and shit in Oklahoma, because it's like 10 times worse than it is out here. This ain't shit. Because it's literally in the middle of the desert. Please.
Yeah.
But no, when you were talking about it the other day, I couldn't remember McCory. And today, or yesterday,
Light bulb went off.
not even light bulb. Here's the fucking name. Thank you. And I kept it in the, not all the way up front, but I kept it in the, I need to remember this for the podcast because I was going to tell you that was his fucking name.
Yeah, she said it was,
That was the asshole.
2 different ones. One of them was McCory, and then the second one was Price.
I don't know Price.
There was a guy named Price that she knew, or someone that she knew. That
No. If it was one of the adults, I know who it was,
yeah,
but I don't know if he ever became a bishop or what his role was at that time.
yeah,
Because after I left, they could have put him in a different spot than he was when I was there.
yeah,
But I know after you get put as bishop, you stay for at least 2 to 3 years as a bishop. That's the standardized length of time. The bishop before McCory was Elledge, and I think he was like 3 or 4 years. He actually did a long run, but he was a really good bishop.
yeah,
He was a good guy. I liked him.
yeah. They got I've met quite a few bishops now that are just straight up douchebags.
But see, that kind of goes back into my little thing where it's the reason they're assholes and douchebags like McCory is because they got put in that spot so that way they could get a swift kick in the nuts that this is not how you treat people. And we're going to show you by giving you people as the bishop, because if you fuck up too bad, you're not going to have a goddamn ward. Which should either kick you in the nuts or cock you in the face, because God said you need a swift kick to the fucking ass or nuts.
Yeah,
Because clearly you are not the proper Christian or proper member of the church. Like you should be. And for me, I hear more stories about the shitty bishops and or branch presidents or stake presidents than I hear about the good ones. Why? Because nobody talks about the good ones because we just like them. They're just awesome people.
yeah,
All we hear about is the shitty ones. Why? Because they're not members of the church trying to get help, which part of the church rules is you're supposed to help everybody no matter what.
yeah,
One, to show them that's who we are as a church, and two, because that's what you're supposed to do as a Christian and as a member. Period.
yeah,
No matter how high up the food chain you are, that's what you're supposed to do. That's like me after I left Oklahoma, and then hearing, right after I moved out here, no, it was right before I left Oklahoma, and when I moved out here, about how as soon as somebody who was the stake president got demoted back down to bishop because they served their time or did what they needed to do as a stake president, or they just got released from their calling. Well, yeah, the whole church is all fake, and, basically running their mouths and talking out of their ass because they got butthurt because they got fucking demoted or fired, as far as they're concerned. It's not a fucking job, asshole. You're not getting paid for being a bishop like the fucking Catholic Church pays their fucking preachers and people to be in the, in the hierarchy.
yeah,
Plus, you're not supposed to get paid for it. It's supposed to be for yourself. Like, and I don't think Price, if Amber's talking about that bishop, telling her that, I don't believe that. Because he's a good guy.
Well,
She's
said
talking about,
what's Rich's last name?
huh?
What's Rich's last name?
Huh?
Rich.
Like I said, if she's talking about Price, the bishop from here.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, because there was a bishop that was at that church that's over there by the park.
well, it was over there when he was
Well,
bishop. If it's the
she
one
was-
I'm thinking.
There was a church that we went to that was near here that I believe it was either the one that was at the park or somewhere nearby,
The
and-
Kiwanis part.
and he was a completely douche.
Yeah, that wasn't Richard Price. Different bishop. I think the one you're thinking of, you just have the name wrong. It was the one after him, and I don't remember who the hell that was, because that was after I was out of the war.
Huh.
Because Richard Price is even like, no, I wish everybody would quit calling me bishop. I'm not the bishop anymore. I'm just Brother Price. He thinks about it like I do. No, it's no longer President Clinton. No. Hi, Bill.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. You're no longer president. But look, I get Secret Service. I don't give a shit who you got. You're not in office. Go fuck yourself. You're just Bill Clinton, motherfucker.
Yeah.
The guy who got his dick sucked in the Oval Office. Not the first president to do that. Go fuck off. Well, that was last Thursday. Well,
Yeah.
kiss my ass. Dude, once you no longer have the job, you should not keep the job title. I used to be the CEO of Microsoft. Okay, nice to meet you, CEO of Microsoft. Oh, I'm currently not. Nope, that is your permanent title, bitch.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. You will always be King George III. Even though somebody kicked you in the nuts, threw you out of your own house, and now Robert the First is now the king.
Yeah.
So you don't call the old king, because then the new king gets pissed and kills everybody. So you don't call the old bishop, because that's slightly disrespectful to the current bishop. That's the way my brain processes it.
Yeah.
So I agree with Richard Price, Brother Price, that stop calling me bishop.
Yeah.
Now,
Makes sense.
me and him had a interesting understanding of each other. He didn't 100% like me, I didn't 100% like him, but we civil.
Yeah.
He showed me respect, I showed him respect. It was equal both ways going. As far as I know, he never said anything against anybody, to anybody, or any of that shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not sure if that might have been a reference point, or it was the bishop after that, or the bishop before that, sort of thing.
It was one of them. The guy was a douche. I wasn't a fan. Because I'm a pretty good judge of character, and if I think that you're a douchebag, then
You're probably a douchebag.
yeah, you're probably a douche, because I'm a very easygoing guy and
'Cause
very open-minded.
The guy after Richard and the guy after that guy, the douchebag I had to deal with to get some of the help I and Teresa needed when we were in this house, when we needed a little bit of help for a couple of things. Oh, I had to go sit in church and go do the Saturday church cleanings and then. Okay, you fucking, oh, that's right, you even admitted it, you're a convert. But look at your shade of skin, you fucking Hispanic. Stop talking to me, you ex-fucking Catholic. This ain't the Catholic Church, motherfucker. I ain't gotta come to church. Read your fucking rule book.
Right.
Oh, I got uppity, pissed about it. I didn't let him see it through my energy when I... Oh no, he felt it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Fine, I'll follow your stupid little stinking nations, because you're like fucking 5 years old, because you're still new in the church. I was raised in the church. We want to go over rules? I know all of them.
See, that's the thing is, if I
That's my biggest irritation, is because the idiots that are a lot of the bishops
Yeah.
don't know their asshole from a hole in the ground in the church rules, regulations, and operations handbook. I do. I was raised in this bitch. Bring it, motherfucker.
See, and even then, like, if I was, because I wasn't raised in it, I would be brand new to it if
No.
I were to be part of it,
Well,
and
you also saw it from a third-party point of view, which is...
I saw it from different angles too, because it wasn't just one ward that I went to. It was
Oh, no,
multiple
I
different
understand
ones.
that. I'm just
There's
saying...
one that's in Logan,
like, from the...
One that's in Clinton.
I know as being an outsider, because I always heard it from
your
everybody
your
around me.
ward. Like, there's different wards that I've been to, and
The biggest one I hated was the one when I lived at Country Oaks and Oakstone, that fucking, not a ward, branch.
Yeah.
And that branch president, the first one and the second one, when you come to church, you don't sit on your ass in the fucking pews. Like the jackass that was before the mom and dad's current bishop.
Yeah.
Who moved them, or the stake had some whatever, moved them back over to the proper building, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well...
Because when it was in this building, I never had an issue with... I actually was coming back to the church when I was here, but when they moved the boundaries and threw it over there, I lost connection with the lady that I was actually getting really good connection with, and that was also... I told her that my wife left me, and she said, "Oh, well, my daughter's single. She's in the singles ward."
Yeah.
But she didn't say that to hook us up, but she also had told me that beforehand, while my wife was still around. My ex-wife now was still around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, stuff would have played a little differently.
I don't know, I feel like the whole idea of like, oh, there's gotta be rules and stipulations to help people, like, that shouldn't even exist. Like, they should be able to just help people. Rather than,
and
like,
see,
being part
that's
of a
what
war.
it's supposed to be. Now, I understand with... Because I'm not allowed to say that word, so I'll muffle that as best as possible. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the scamdemic. It's the thing of the stupidity of that. Even screwed the church on helping people with the bishop's storehouse, so they had to limit how much people could receive or get on certain things. And now there are certain restrictions where I can barely feed me and my kids for a week or two. That's why I gotta go grip up so that way I have enough money to actually buy meat or something else to eat other than just a basic little...
To me, it seems like they're fucking cheated out of helping people.
Well...
Because the church has a lot of fucking money.
See, the issue is, even with as much money as they have, there are certain restrictions because you're a church.
Uh-huh.
And I know that because I looked into it, because I also looked into how Scientology started. I did a deep dive 3 years back, 4 years back.
Yeah.
Like super deep dive. Because also the mom off King of Queens.
Yeah.
That left the Scientology church, and that big I think it was A&E series she did there for a little while. I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons of that, and some of the stuff she was saying and some of the stuff that they were actually talking about it was the last episode of the 2nd or 3rd season, talking about how Jehovah's Witnesses are exactly like that. But here's the funny part. I know a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who go out and knock on doors and claim they're Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They say Mormon missionaries, or they say LDS missionaries, just so that way you talk to them. I love it when they tell me that. Well, no, you're not, because I'm a member. Go away. And I close the door right in their face.
Yeah.
I always had fun letting those fucking Jehovah's Witnesses up. Because it's the same as Scientology. Well, if you're kicked out of the church, or your family or somebody doesn't want to be a member of the church, we're going to shun you. And they were talking about how that's what they do in Scientology too. You're shunned.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk to you. It's like, I'm sorry, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we don't shun anybody. Go fuck yourself. I love you. I love everybody. And I even brought that up in the missionary meeting I was in. I'm like, no. Something I told my cousin which blew their mind. I swear their brains melted out of their ears that night, because afterwards they got even dumber. I don't know if that's possible. I didn't say that to the guy, but that's the thought in my head, because that's kind of what happened. No. See, here's the issue. We're all related. And I did say this to the guy. You go far enough back, came from the same nutsack. You didn't even think about it, just said it as factoid. Because, I mean, it's true.
Yep.
You go far enough back, every bloodline eventually meets up to the same two fuckers. But it's the thing of, no matter what, we're all family. So we should love each other, because a lot of people's BS is, well, I don't have to love you because you're not family. Actually, technically, we're all family. We all come from far. You go far enough back on any person's bloodline, no matter what shade, color, or breed. We all go back to the original two.
Yeah.
No matter how you believe, no matter whether you believe evolution or not, you go far enough back, there is an origin story for every breed, race, creed, and monkey look-alike fucker that we all go back to.
Yeah.
Like the Neanderthal versus the Homo sapien. We're actually 50% both. 90% of the human race. So, my only thought is, what if Neanderthal was Cain's children? Well, we've already talked about that. But
Yeah.
anywho, so no matter who anybody is, I love you because you're family. But just because I love you because you're related to me doesn't mean I have to like what you do.
Yeah.
So, love everybody. You're supposed to love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because spiritually and physically, we're all related.
Yep.
So, but just because I love you doesn't mean I have to like what you do.
Right.
And when I told him that, that's what I told my cousin. I love everybody because we're all family. I just don't have to like what you do.
Yeah.
He went, oh, I never thought of it like that. Ooh. I literally either just lit a fire or his fourth of his brain's gonna leak out of his ear tonight while he's asleep. One of the two. Either way, the outcome will be awesome or ooh, I didn't see that burn. I didn't see the fire lighting that bright. Ouch. Oh fuck. Shit. Alright, we gotta end this because I'm gonna pass out if we don't. Woo! See, I just go randomly and open up everybody's mind to the fifth dimension.
I told you. I said we're gonna keep going for a little bit and then we'll shut it down. But this has been fun. I am TPAW, and
Karnage 6778 on 90% of everything.
and this has been Crazy Peas. We'll talk about more crazy shit later, as always. And you know,
Right.
same bat time, same bat channel. Not Smodcast, TPAW's Playground, and yeah, have a week.
Don't die. Don't murder people. Jackass. That's after hours.